So I've actually been using Cursor 2.3 pretty much exclusively for the past month. It's gotten just really, really good. And I had a call with a Discord member named Coriolis, and he showed me something that made me come back to Claude Code. And it turns out the creator, Boris, runs an extremely lean Claude Code setup. And when I say extremely lean, this is actually what Boris posted on Twitter. And this is exactly what he says. Lots of people have asked how I use Claude Code, so I wanted to show off my setup a bit. My setup might be surprisingly vanilla, and Claude Code works great out of the box. Out of the box. This is really interesting because when I first started using Claude Code earlier last year, it required getting stuff set up and then adding MCPs and all these other types of configurations. And I've also realized the same thing has happened inside of Cursor. I've had all these rules files and all these different things. And Lee Rob just posted today about rules and all these things that you may not need as much things as you possibly need as far as configurations and all this other stuff. And so today the promise is that we're just going to go over, kind of get going again with Claude Code and see if we can kind of get this reset up again. Any rules that I've previously had in any videos that you've seen that I've had Claude Code stuff set up, we're pretty much just going to throw that out the window and we're just going to start fresh from here. So I'm taking my existing project, Ray Transcribes, and I'm going to try to see if I can do some Shadcn fix up for this. I shipped this first version pretty much last year, all vibe coded and stuff. I could say vibe coded, basically just engineered by Ray. And that's kind of the thing that we do. So what I'm able to do now in my version is like, I actually have the fastest transcriber known to man right now. I know it's kind of bragging, but it's actually very true. I've been able to do a lot of optimizations on the client side, and I've shared some of this stuff publicly, which has been really great, but it's actually insanely fast. What's really great is that you can even edit the transcript as well. So I've added some of this functionality here, and this is literally just editing here in the web browser. So you can change some of these types of words. So YOLO. And what's nice is you can actually save different versions. So when you save them, you have like version 1, and you can revert back to the original as well. You can also change the times and stuff that you have as well. So if you do restore different versions, you're able to snap back to them pretty fast. You can also go back to the drafts as well. And then another thing that I also have is this ability to actually reprocess the timestamp. So or reprocess the stuff here too. So in here, I have this, I could just go ahead and reprocess with different settings, and I'm able to go ahead and do that as well. And so let's go ahead and see if I can just get I have a couple different bugs that I want to fix in my app. So I want to see if we can also get those things as well as wrapped up. So the first thing that we should do is I have Ghosty terminal. So I love this terminal so much because it's so freaking cool. How you can kind of bounce up and down this. So if I type in Claude, I already have Claude set up, but if you needed to get this set up, if you were kind of still new, maybe you're going to use this video to kind of launch off Claude CLI setup. Okay, there should be some type of thing with this quick start. It's actually fairly simple. All you have to do is just run this command and you're pretty much good to go. So if you have a native install, that's probably the best way to do it. I think I use bun. So my bun install is, I think it's like bun-g, see bun. Oh, they don't give you that command. That's interesting, but I just use bun. So if I ask Claude, let me make this font bigger probably so you can see it. Which Claude? So which Claude will show me this, and then which -a Claude will show you all the versions of Claude that you have installed. And so mine's is currently using bun. And so if you have a thing called a zshrc file, if you do like cat zsh, rc, let's go rc. I don't know what's actually in my file, so let me just kind of blur it out. zshrc, sorry. It's zshrc here. In here, oh, I'm not in the right directory. So it's actually cat ~.zshrc. I'm going to walk you through this a little bit right here. So we're going to go do this here. So in here, I just want to make sure I don't have anything that's exposed that shouldn't be in here, and we should be able to kind of go through. Okay, cool. So at the very bottom, whenever you install something like anti-gravity, it's going to have an export for the path. And sometimes that can create some duplications or complications, especially if you've gone through this stuff. A lot of times, once you have Claude Code set up, you want to just make sure you can kind of point it back at this and say, hey, if I want to fix my installation, sometimes you have an older version of Claude, it may not update correctly, and this is probably the best way to kind of go ahead and try to fix them. But you'll see, like when you install anti-gravity here at the bottom, it'll actually add additional paths, and those sometimes that aren't even needed, to be honest. But they do that because their app may have some issues, and they probably notice that, these are added. Actually, I think I removed these and they added it back in. These guys are very aggressive about doing that, which I really hate. But I think it's just for reliability for their app. Open Code adds this, and like pretty much everything that you're going to be using as far as like they like Windsurf try to add stuff here. And so some of these paths actually kind of end up repeating. So echo path or something. Yeah. So yeah, that's just a heads up. So as of now, we have Claude. So I do Claude, and then there's an interesting one called Chrome. So Claude in Chrome. This is the one that we really want to get set up here. So what I learned from my Discord member is that if you have Chrome set up, Claude can launch Chrome and then control the browser there. And so what we ended up doing was we did a rewrite for his app using the Chrome browser. So what it is interesting is I think Claude has this thing called plugins. So that's the other thing we have to check out, plugins. So this is new since I've used it before. So when you do manage plugins, so this is the stuff that we want to go ahead and take a look at and probably get installed is here. So we have front-end design. I don't have that yet. So let's go ahead and get that installed. So it's asking us to install it. They create distinctive production grade stuff here. So make sure you trust a plugin before installing it, using it. This is installed by lots of people, so we're literally just going to YOLO. And as far as the type of install that we're going to do, I think we're going to go do install for you this repo only for all collaborators on this repository, or for myself, the user scope. So I think the way, since I'm going to use this over and over again for all my projects, I'm just going to install it in user land. That's probably the best way to do that here. So that's kind of what we got there. Big shout out to GitMax. I really appreciate you kind of flying by for the late night streams. Also, Mr. Perked as well. And then Black Swan as well. You can also do Chrome Dev Tools MCP server. Yes. Riley's Dev, how's it going, man? That's cool. So this is really interesting. So I think MCP. So I have some MCPs here. And so I'm really curious because there's another thing called context. So in context, we learned that you have basically MCPs that load up, and my MCP tools currently take 9.1%. And I think there's an update. Let's see, bun, hold on. Claude-H, let's see, is there an update command? Update, Claude, update. Yes, right? So the new version is available. Okay, cool. So I know that they fixed the, they have like a fix that they landed, I think it's today, Claude, that should allow us to basically use less MCP, less context in the MCP. So we do context and we do this. And so we have this here. Now our MCP tool calls are still the same. Okay. The only thing I have enabled is Pixel Lab and then Exa and Ref Tools. So I could probably turn off Pixel Lab because I was using this to make a game. So /MCP. And then, let's see, can I see manage MCP servers? And then I could just say, I could say disable. Okay. So now that disabled, enter the config, escape to cancel, and then MCP. I think, okay, cool. Disabled /context. So I think, yeah, I have to reload my session and then Claude again. So I think because it's loaded at the very beginning. So MCP context. So the context should probably be smaller. Yeah, MCP tools are now 915 tokens. Damn. Wow, that's huge. So just removing the Pixel Lab one, it actually freed up quite a bit of space there. That's pretty amazing. Damn, that's a huge difference actually. So wow, that's massive. Okay, so we learned something here. Just like remove any unnecessary MCPs, especially if I'm not going to use it. I was using that Pixel Lab one literally just to make a game. I haven't made the game and I'm not working on that project right now. So that's good to know that it takes up that many tokens because we saw how many tokens it took up earlier. I didn't update Claude. I thought I did. 2.15. Let's see. Update. Update. Upgrade. Upgrade. No. Exit. Okay. Claude-H. Update. Oh, okay. So it could not. Oh, okay. Using the global installation method. Okay. So that's right. Thank you so much for talking about that. So I think it's like bun. Actually, let me ask Claude to do that. Claude, and then let's see. How do I update my version of Claude? Can you check? I think I used bun. I'm going to put it in plan mode. So that way it doesn't do anything. Okay. Yes, that's right. Yeah, thank you so much for that, by the way. That was a good call out about not updating. It looks like your Claude didn't update. Yeah, that's right. Because I really quickly just kind of read it and kind of did that. So yeah. So now it's basically looking up the guides for me. And so while it's doing that, the bug that I want to fix, I was trying to use Cursor. Cursor has a cursor agent. And so I've been giving them lots of feedback because this is the plan mode that you use in Cursor for cursor agent. And I'm also trying to figure out how to use cloud agents because I want to kick off runs in cloud. So through background agent or something. So this is an interesting thing that I'm trying to play around with because they also have BugBot and a bunch of other things that are built in. And I really like Cursor's BugBot. And I'm trying to figure out how I can tie this stuff in together. So that's going to be a later problem, but I'm trying to, play around with these types of things and seeing, do I like the plans better here? Like how does stuff look like? And it's just going to be comparing the two. Okay. So I installed natively. If you installed via npm deprecated, okay. But I think I used bun. So be bun-i / probably this, I think. You can check your installation method with Claude Doctor. Okay. Command D, Claude Doctor. Hello there, doctor. Okay, so the diagnosis is currently this, the stable version. Okay, so it's global and it's using this. What? So currently running 2.19, but it says 2.15. Help! Okay, let's do this. Okay, I ran it and it shows. Okay, but here we see it is 2.1.5. And then I'm going to give it the which Claude, and then give it this output. This is really cool. I'm pretty sure other people have similar like debugging stuff. So this is probably very helpful too. \enter, \enter, and then paste, and then \enter, \enter. Okay, and then the other thing I'm doing is, besides this, okay, which -a, Claude. This is a really fun debugging session. Y'all didn't think you were gonna be getting this. Okay, boom. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do this. Okay, awesome. We're gonna really figure this out and cook with this. So that way we can start shipping some features. That's just so weird. Okay, so you have 2 Claude installations. Currently active is here and likely the older one on bun. Okay, FN is the one that's taking precedence in your path to update the bun installation. Okay, bun update G, recommended to remove and avoid the confusion. So I think anti-gravity modified my .zshrc and added cruft. Can you look as this may break again? Okay. Last night I literally told Claude itself to update, and he did in a few seconds. Yeah, I think there's going to be an ongoing pattern here, where because anti-gravity somehow launched again, even though I actually haven't launched the app, there's probably like a background daemon that is there. I'm pretty sure anti-gravity just with the way it added the path is kind of what broke things, because this was working the other day. I only had one installation. I literally took me forever to prune this all, and here we are again. But this is what happens. So okay, the problem is the order path is simplified. Okay, so we have this, and then it goes anti-gravity, cargo, then bun. So the anti-gravity added this. That's fine, but not the root cause. To fix the conflict, you have a few options. Move the bun path after FNM, so the bun takes priority, or just pick one and uninstall the other. I think also is probably stale since you're using FNM node versions. You could remove it. Oh man. Let's see. The lowest risk change and the one where we stay modern is which? Okay. So yeah, basically talking to it like a 5-year-old. This is gonna be great. So how did I get to that point? Okay. All right. So here we are. Cool. Let's go ahead and get this going. So the lowest risk is to uninstall this one. Why? There's no zshrc changes, avoids accidentally breaking other tools. Bun is modern choice, faster packaging. I thought single installation. After running that, restart your which Claude. Okay, so I thought I'm using this one. I don't know. npm uninstall this. Okay. Remove 3 packages. Okay. No zshrc changes. Single installation. After running that, restart your terminal. Which Claude? Okay, which Claude? Okay, which -a Claude? Okay, cool. All right, so then I should be able to then update now. Oh, shoot. Now that I have this, which command do I run to update? Breaking things. Okay, so it's possibly, I'm going to quit this here. And this is the other thing I have. So now it's just a single bun install. Okay, so bun update -g and then add Anthropic AI. Okay, so let's go. And then let me just go ahead and quit this Claude and then do this. Okay, so now we're updating. Cool, so this looks right. Let me just open another one, close this here. Okay, Claude. Okay, we should have the legit Claude. Hold on. This is too big, huh? Okay, Claude. 2.19, yay. Okay, /context. Let's check the context. Bruh, okay, what's going on? Okay, oh, I see, it just changed my layout. Can I make this bigger? Cool, okay, great. So now we have MCP tool calls. Whoa, this is weird, okay. Okay, Claude. Context. Bruh. Okay, it's getting silly up in here. It's getting silly. Okay, here we go. MCP tools, 616 tokens. Wow, that's a nice big change. I don't know why it's blinking like that. That's really strange. Okay. Okay, so let's go plugins again, /plugins. And then let's go and install some stuff. So we had that. I think another thing we're trying to do is commit tools. Oh, LSPs. Okay, so that's the other thing we need to do, LSP. So we want to install the TypeScript LSP. So for those who are watching, these are like the language server protocols. I forget what it's called. But basically, it basically feeds back from whatever programming language you're using so that the agent will see that signal and then fix itself along the run. So that's one of the biggest key terms here. So now that we're kind of getting our Claude kind of configured here, we have the latest updates, 2.1.9 that just came out. And that has a lot of improvements for keeping your context windows nice and like tight. So the MCP stuff even got pruned further after we turned off some of the extra MCPs. The other thing we're going to do is get the plugin stuff. So /plugins, we're able to see some plugins. We install the front end design. The next one, we're going to do these LSPs. So if you work with Swift, if you work with TypeScript, if you work with any of these types of here, all you have to do is just go into this plugin store, basically hit TypeScript LSP and just go to install it. So we're going to install it in the user scope, obviously, /plugin. There's probably a way to do multiple maybe. So I'm going to just see if I could do that. LSP, and then I could do Pyrite. Is that Python language server? Yes. Okay. Yeah. If you go up and down, you can hit spacebar, which is great. This is very, very helpful. So we have PHP. I don't use. I have Swift. And then what else? Kotlin. No. Okay. So far I have TypeScript. I'm going to install Pyrite, and I'm also going to install Swift. Okay. Cool. So then when we're done, I to install. Okay. Cool. Or type to search, space to toggle, enter details. Okay. Great. Install user scope for me. So the plugin details are going to be the Go LSP. What? No, go back. I'm not installing Go. Okay. So I'm going to install I to install. Okay. /plugin. Okay. Then I can go to install. So at the very top here, I'm able to kind of toggle left and right. So that's how I'm able to see the things here. I'm just going to see this here. Okay, cool. So what I have installed so far is the front-end design, Pyrite, TypeScript, Swift, TypeScript, and then these are the current stuff that I have set up. And then in order for them to configure, we just have to restart Claude Code again, Claude, and then we're back in again here. Okay, cool. All right. Try GPT 5.2 Codex is much better than Claude Opus for complex coding. I don't know, bro. Like, we're currently inside of Claude. I'm not going to go try some Codex right now. I get the energy, but right now we're doing a bunch of Claude. So You can go watch some other streams. There's a lot of people right now. Like this is the kind of thing about like YouTube is that every single person is literally just doing videos on 5.2 codecs. And I'm purposely doing a video on Claude Code because like everyone who's here is like low key serious about this stuff. Y'all are not tracing trends. Y'all are actually here to learn. So I really appreciate that. Hey, how's it going, man? Good to see you from Australia, down under. Yo, what's happening? We're cooking right now with Claude Code. If you want to go see some GPT-5 stuff, there's a lot of YouTubers doing content on that right now. All right, so let's go ahead and go against the trend. Okay, so let's go ahead and check this out. /Chrome. So I think Chrome is in beta and it works with Chrome extension and lets you control your Chrome browser directly from Claude Code. Navigate websites, fill out forms and everything. This is cool. So this currently status is disabled, but the extension is installed. So let's go ahead and enable by default. So I can use Claude --Chrome and then that's how I can probably enable it. So if I open up a new window, if I do Claude --Chrome, right? Is that what it is? Yeah. Okay, cool. So this will now allow me, whoa, let's go. So now I have a version of Chrome that is in my browser and I could just probably ask it to continue. So it works in the Chrome extension because I already have the extension installed. And this is site level permissions are inherited from Chrome. So I hit enter. Okay, now we're cooking. So I have the LSP for TypeScript. It failed. How do I get that to work? We'll have to figure that out in a little bit. What do you see on my Chrome browser? Let's see. Can it see itself, right? So we'll see. Orchestrating. Claude for me. Yeah, man, that's what's up. Now I'm here to see Ray show. Yeah, we're cooking with Claude right now. We're basically going through how to set this up like a pro so that way we can really ship software as best as possible. The Chrome browser extension isn't connected. Let me see your browser. To make sure it's installed, go to this, okay? And then extensions is running. Check the Chrome extensions. You may need to restart. Oh, okay. So if I go here, I think... Oh, you know what? I don't have it enabled. Manage extensions, Claude. Oh yeah, let me turn it on. Re-enable. Okay. So I think we're good. Try again. I think we're good because they should be able to see stuff. Haiku. No, I'm good off that. Okay, delete group. Okay, so it says Claude and Chrome tabs context. Still not connected. Extension icons visible in your toolbar. Try clicking the extension. Make sure it's check. Let me know if you check. Okay, I might have to restart Chrome again. Okay, this is cool. So what do we have here? So we have Claude. We have this thing. We don't. Yeah, this is cool. So I think what I'm going to do is restart everything. Let me just quit Chrome. We're going to... okay, so let me just restart it all. So Claude --S Chrome. So now we should be able to run in Chrome. And then the LSP failed. So we'll figure that out. Open Chrome and let me know what you see. Cool. So it says the Chrome Dev Tools MCP is more reliable than a native Chrome integration for Claude, particularly related to token consumption. Interesting. Where do you get that information? I'm really curious. The Chrome isn't connected. Claude AI Chrome. Once extension is connected, make sure to be able to interact with your browser tabs. Okay. So let me just launch Chrome, I guess. Okay. So let's just go ahead and do this one, I think. So Claude. So we should have this here. I think we should be cooking now. I'm just double checking. Because once this works, then we're pretty much set to go. So try now. What is on the screen? Okay, cool. So, oh, I see. Oh, it says Claude MCP. So is this like the same thing? Wow. Oh, this is new. Yeah, this is new. This is really cool. Heck yeah, let's go. Always allow actions on this site. Always allow this action. Browse, click, type. Okay. Cool. So now we have a like this says Claude MCP right here at the very top. So clearly it's communicating over MCP. And then I can see the new Chrome tab, but I can't take a screenshot of internal the page. Would you like me to? Yes. go to raytranscribes.com. Cool. This is going to be great. Okay. Allow actions on this site. Sweet. Okay, cool. Wow. Okay, so it just launches basically new browsers. Delete group. Wow. Okay, this is great. Whoa. Claude MCP. Oh, I see. It creates a grouping, so that way it kind of stays here. That's super handy. Yeah, the other says Claude though. Yeah, so I think this is just Claude here, and as far as like a group. So we have Claude here, and then Claude here as far as these are groupings. So I can delete these groups. So these are like delete group. Yes, and then delete group. Yes, okay. And then here is Claude MCP as a group. So Claude will have its own tabs that it does. And this is kind of what they make as a group basically here. This is really cool. And you can kind of see the orange. This basically means that Claude is currently taking over. I'm going to say, can you check out the pricing? What's the pricing of this app? So this is just really curious. Or I'm just testing that to make sure that this currently works. So as we do this here, we're seeing it clicks the pricing and it goes right to it. And then it's going to read it. Nice. And then what I want to do is try to get the context and see how much context it used up. It should tell me how much context it's used here because we got this all set up. So we can do some comparisons. Cool. Yeah, it parsed everything. Dang. Wow. Okay, so we do slash context. So now we're going to actually see how much context this used. So this says that it used, so far, we're using Claude Opus, 36,000 tokens. Whoops. I don't like that feature. Slash context. Okay. So we have the Chrome plugin, and these are the tokens that are using here. So in Chrome, for reading the network, oh, that's such a horrible, I want to make that last longer. But for those who are following along, slash context will actually tell us. So it is doing a MCP call inside of Chrome. And then these are the different tokens that it's used up. So the highest one was the computer part for Claude. And so that's interesting. I'm really curious if the latest update has actually resolved some of the stuff that you were saying. So from an extensive testing for front-end web development automation, Chrome Dev is an essential integration for debugging. In 2 to 3 weeks, native Claude Code will be superior most likely. I think they've actually integrated everything. From my understanding, as you saw all those different tool calls inside of that, that's actually what they're using. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this is exactly the MCP they're using, but this is done over at MCP tool call. So tangential analogy, Claude native web search cost compared to Xref. Yeah. Regardless, both are an exceptional tool. Okay. Good point. See you, Ray. Gonna prep for my meeting for sure. Any Ralph Wiggum live stream soon? This is something that I'm experimenting with right now because I'm trying to understand like the Cursor paper. So like Cursor dropped a fire blog post. So Cursor blog post agents or something like that, long running. So this is like a whole research paper, which is not really a research paper, but this is an interesting thing that I want to kind of talk about and I'll probably get into in the future. And part of that is that I was trying to use Cursor's command line tool. And so the Cursor has a thing called Cursor Agent. So this is their own CLI that they're using. I've submitted a bunch of feedback to the Cursor team to basically make this better than Claude Code because there's a lot of different things that I want to make this work as good as Claude Code. But the second part is going to be about try to get them to actually run in a loop. Right now, a lot of my workflow inside of Cursor is literally just working off plans. So I have plans inside of Cursor that look something like this, right? So like this is like a refactor for my diarization that I was doing. So for this type of plan, I have things that run in phases. Like these are really big features, right? So this is how the like my architecture works for my app, from the front end to the back end, and this is how I broke the entire big feature down into these different phases of work. So each phase of work is pretty much a feature, but the way I'm treating it in Cursor is like once I have this mega plan like this, and I go through a bunch of detail, I probably spend most of my time in the planning phases, and I have 36 to-dos. So each of these to-dos correspond to each phase of work. And this is something that I have in a prompt. So in a slash command, I have phased plan. And so phase plan here actually says, organize the work in phases to make sure the to-dos so we can hand them off to phase work to different agents and engineers. that it can be in chunks and it can be done sequentially or no parallelize. So this is the biggest key to a Ralph Wiggum loop, is to have this type of clarity in your planning and also in your like handoffs to different chats. So each of these can be a single chat that an agent can take, and it has no context or clue about where it's at in here. It's just taking this task and doing it. And that's all you need. The agent doesn't need to know anything else. Once it's done, it exits the loop and it's good. And so you'll have one agent that can literally act as an orchestrator. And this is something that Claude Code does really well because it can do sub-agents. So sub-agents can literally just say, hey, kick this off into a separate thing and then come back to me when you're done, right? And then that's like the most basic loop. And something like this can easily run overnight. This will probably take like 2 hours to run the whole plan. And then I have a whole feature that's completely shipped from like all of this architecture rewritten. And basically what that is basically, if you're trying to take a look at it, this is my app. I did this by hand. I mean, I didn't do a Ralph Wiggum loop for this, but basically now I have diarization in my app. So if I go to select a file for like a live stream or something like that, for example, this short with the repo prompt Eric, right? So I ship this feature. Actually, this is not the local host. So this is the one that's currently running right now. So this is currently, yeah. So I added diarization, so I could select the premium model and I can go like this. This is currently going to be live in my 1.11 for Ray Transcribes. But this is something that I want to have done like in a Ralph Wiggum loop. So I do some client-side processing. I do all the stuff. I send it right up. And then what ends up happening is now I have all the diarization for the speakers. So if I go to edit transcript, I can see, which speakers are currently active and stuff like that. So I can see speaker 1, speaker 2. I could even rename it to Ray, and then here, and I can hit Eric, hit this. So now Eric has his own thing here, and I can see I can actually light mode, dark mode. There's these different colors, so you can see Eric's name here. So whenever the speakers' names change here, that they pretty much save. And because this is not saved, I can hit save, and then this will save it. And if I go to the SRT file, it'll be just like this. So in the SRT file, it'll pretty much just look exactly like this. So whenever my name pops up, it'll say Ray, and they'll just keep going until it changes the speaker name. So it'll say from that to whatever. It's pretty elegant. It's just like a feature that I spent a lot of time crafting. But now that it works really, really well. And I haven't shipped it yet because I'm still doing some quality checks. And that'll probably go live tonight/tomorrow. But as you can see, this is kind of how it looks like in the SRT file. It's a perfect word length measurements. And then I was also able to add character links. So you can actually adjust the length. So if you're doing stuff that is like mobile friendly, if you're doing like Netflix streaming, you want 47 instead of 46 or whatever, or the wide, if you're doing DVD stuff, you'll probably want more characters on the screen, or no line splitting at all. So that's kind of the way you can adjust some of these parameters. Obviously, if you wanted to reprocess with a different model, you can do those types of things. But you can see like that was a big architecture plan. It's simple to implement, but when you're dealing with multiple models and different things, that's the type of detail that I was looking for. And this is what I'm trying to reproduce in a Ralph Wiggum loop, because this is extremely, extremely reliable. And that's what I use to ship a game in 12 days. So I shipped a whole game in a whole new programming language that I never used before. I never used Rust before, and we literally shipped that game in 12 days before Christmas. And that was using Opus 4.5 and also GPT 5.2. So if you go to yeeball.com, we can actually play this game live. This was all coded Rust, Next.js front end, and then we can literally play a match with players all over the world, which we pretty much did here. So in here, like this whole game, will react like natively, and this also works if you have like a phone as well. If you have the phone size, this will adjust to your phone. It's pretty wild how we're able to do this. We got animations, we got scores. All these people can connect in real time. This can support like tons of games. So like there can be all kinds of matches going on, which is kind of insane. So that's the scale that we're working with. And I did that all inside of Cursor basically. And we use this technique for planning. So if I can get a plan that can be as detailed as like this with handing off tasks, that's going to be the key. And if I can get Cursor to somehow do that for me via the command line, and I can send this off into its thing, that could be crazy too. So that's kind of where I'm looking at for like Ralphing, I guess you could say, the Ralph loop. And this is probably the most reliable way I've been able to ship software in a loop. And so right now I'm still doing it by hand, but I'm trying to get this in a loop, and then it's game over after that. So this technically can be done right now. I probably can hand this off to Claude Code And this is kind of what I discovered with Coriolis. And that's kind of why I'm trying to get the Chrome browser up, is because in the Chrome web browser, this is where it was able to look and make the changes in a loop. And it just did a whole refactor to use the new Shadcn stuff. So if you're not aware, if you go to ui.shadcn.com, you can go here, like just go to this thing and say new project. And with new project, you can literally start to design your new app. So you can go to the new base UI stuff, and you can select some presets. Like you can do the Inter stuff or JetBrains Mono. Like if you like JetBrains, is pretty cool. And your base color can be like, gray if you do this type of thing. And your theme can be like amber, which is pretty awesome. And so now you can do like your different libraries. So you can do huge icons. And then like the font, you could do JetBrains Nano, or if you like this one, you can kind of go like this. But designers love picking quirky glyphs and things. So I like Fig Tree, to be honest. It's kind of cool. And as far as radius, you can just do like large or something like that, something chill. But yeah, like for a preset, you can do Lyra. It's pretty awesome. Huge icons, Nova. Like this one's kind of chill. I like this vibe. This is kind of a vibe by itself, like these little things. And then we can do the radius to do like a large radius, which makes it look more soft. And then the font, we can do like Fig Tree. Fig Tree is kind of cool. Menu color can be inverted or not. As far as in themes, I think we're going to go with like blue or amber. Amber is pretty cool. I like orange too. This orange is kind of fiery. It's kind of awesome. Yeah, we can do this here. And then for the style, yeah, I think we'll do the style. So as far as like subtle, we can do these types of things. Yeah, so now we have like some cool custom UI type of things. We can just like reset and start over, or try something like shuffling. This is kind of cool, the green. We can do this type of stuff. Yeah, so this is pretty cool, actually. I kind of like this, to be honest. And then what I could do, emerald. Emerald's kind of cool. This is a really cool UI, like an emerald green. This is cool. So if I want to refactor my app, all I have to do is then hit this to Claude Code and say, hey, go take a look at this, and then go and basically make a redesign of my app. So that's what I want to do. I want to redesign my dashboard of my app. So if I go here, this is my dashboard. So right now it's just kind of this type of thing, and it's really cool. But I want to see if it can actually do something interesting. So this is all based off of, yeah, you can kind of see like there's a little bit of inconsistency, but we could do something cool like this. This is kind of nice. So I think I might try to see if I could do that right now. Okay, so we have this here. Claude has its setup. We did this. Boris talks about here, and he says, I run 5 Claudes in parallel in my terminal. Number of tabs 1 through 5 use system notifications. And then I also run 5 to 10 Claudes on Claude.code. Damn. In parallel with my local Claudes. As I code in my terminal, I'll often hand off local sessions to the web using the ampersand. Okay. And manually kick off sessions in Chrome. And sometimes, so if you do this in Bash, I think it allows the background process to kick off, and you can kind of keep going, right? And manually kicking off sessions in Chrome. And sometimes I will teleport back and forth. So I'll share a few. I also use Opus 4.5 thinking for everything. It's the best coding model I've ever used. And even though it's bigger and slower than Sonnet, since you have to steer it less, it's a better tool to use. It's almost always faster than using smaller model in the end. This is really amazing. So that is cool there. What else is going on? Our team shares a single claude.md file. So we check it into Git. So this is the most important part. If you get anything from this video or this live stream, is this. So we check it into Git, and the whole team contributes. And here's the Claude file. Look how small this thing is. This is literally the Claude.md file. Development workflow, always use bun, not npm. And then it has a the sh, so it tells them about what shell stuff to do here. So it's wrapped here, and it says what? All it says is like these 5 things: make changes, type check fast, run checks, tests, lint before committing, and then before creating a PR, do this. That's all. That is all in their Claude.md file. That's it. There's no extra stuff. That's it. He's pruned literally everything out of it, right? And then during the code review, I'll often tag Claude. That's it. So that's it. And then most sessions start in plan mode. So shift tab twice. My goal is to write a pull request. I'll use plan mode if I go back and forth with Claude until like it's planned. From there, I switch to auto accept edits and can usually do it in one shot. A good plan is really important, as we saw here. I've noticed this myself, but this is actually very, very true. I use / commands for every inner loop workflow that I end up doing many times a day. So it saves me from repeated prompting. So that's what you do, commit push PR. And then also a few subagents regularly. So code simplifier simplifies the code after the code is done working. Verify app has detailed instructions for testing, and then Claude Code end to end and so on. So I have a similar app inside of Cursor for pruning dead code. So I basically just do @dead code. And so this is a dead code audit. It's in my Cursor rules actually. So let's see if I can go here, dead code audit. So this is my dead code audit for my app. That basically just removes dead code when cleaning up unused functions, exports, and files. So all I have to do is just @dead code, and it's going to do a review, and it does these commands basically step by step. I had Claude write this, and this is probably like the fastest or best way to do it, if you know what I mean. So all you have to do is just tell it you want to prune code, and once you do a session where the code gets pruned and you really like it, then you want to tell Claude and say, hey, I want to be able to do this again by running a / command or an @ command. How can we do that? How can you package everything up in this conversation and kind of teach the agent to do that? So that's probably like the next biggest takeaway here is that when you have a workflow that you do in a session, you don't ever want to repeat that again. Tell Claude to like learn from the chat and either create a new skill file, create a / command, like you were saying, / commands for stuff you repeat over again, like PRs, or something like that, where he's like literally pruning dead code, and I call it dead code. And I think in their case, they called it unused code or something like that. What did they say? After it's done working, verify app has detailed instructions for testing code end to end. This is commit. Yeah. So like, this is kind of what they're working with here. We use post tool hook to format Claude's codes, usually generates well-formatted code out of the box. And the hook handles the last 10% avoid formatting errors in the CI later. So this is just bun run format and then true. This is what they do. This is great. I don't use dangerously skip permissions. Instead, I use / permissions to pre-allow common bash commands that I know are safe in my environment to avoid unnecessary permissions. Most of these are checked in the Claude settings and shared with the team. So, like maybe I just tell the agent about this. Okay. Most of these, okay. So this is what I'm going to do right now to Claude. So in Claude, I want to follow the same thing. Let's do that. Okay. So where are we? So Claude. Okay. So now that we're kind of done with that, I'm going to close this tab. I don't need this. Close. And then we learned about Claude Chrome. So we're going to do that. Claude. Okay. And then I'm going to kill this. Okay, cool. So I learned from Boris about, can you help me with this? There we go. Cool. Are exceptional for verification of plans. Yes. Yeah, I use this a lot. Actually, I have that currently inside of Cursor, and I use that for like my backend. So I did that a lot for the game. So when I was building stuff in Rust, as soon as it would touch anything in Rust files, Cursor would send that in saying, hey, I touched these directories. And then it would the bash script will pick that up and then just start building my types files. And then those are the things that get built. And then it does another linting check. And then it checks with the front end. And then, you know, it does it like that just before the agent even finishes, it already knows whether it should continue work or not. So all of these are signals that you want to give to the agent, similar to like when you're driving down the road, you basically see a signpost. And so all of these types of interactions from the LSPs, which is the language server protocol stuff. So when like you're writing stuff in Swift, it will say, hey, this is broken. Make sure you add a semicolon or something like that, or closing bracket or something like that. You want that signal to go back to the agent as it's writing code, because sometimes it can mess things up, or another agent overwrote a file or something like that. So those are very important, especially if like merge conflicts happen or something. So that's kind of what we're doing there. And yeah, like all those types of signals are really, really good. And this is kind of why they talk about it. But it takes, once you start to get some of this stuff set up, I think this is going to be a huge unlock. Like he's saying, a lot of people who are coding this way, it's probably like, I call it the professional way for doing this. Yeah. So thanks RF for doing the research heavy lift for the fam. Man, definitely keep me in mind for the cohort. Oh yeah. I got you, man. Yeah, for sure. Subagents for the win. Yeah. How many tokens have you output 2026 this far? Bro, probably 1 billion so far. 1 billion in Cursor, bro. Yeah, I don't want to see my Cursor bill right now. It's kind of nasty. I'm not going to lie. Hey, okay, that's why I'm switching to Claude, right? No, I'm good. Okay, I'll look up the information / permissions command in Claude Code for you. Okay, so here's how permissions allow. Okay, so allowing pre-commands. So the user scope is /settings and applies everywhere. So this is what we want to do, like bash bun, bash git. Okay. For your team, why this is better than dangerously skip permissions. So the permissions approach has granular control and then dangerously bypasses all permissions, one flag. Okay. Obviously. Yeah, because I don't want to nuke something, right? So extract, okay. Bun, okay. Based on your code base, add the following settings. This is great. This is awesome. Deny.env. Okay, the safest way without prompts. Okay, it looks good. So can you set this up? Can you set this up for me? And then I think I also have, if I remember correctly, in my cursor, I have hooks. So cursor commands, phased plan, okay. Hooks, okay. So in my hooks, I have these here and I want to have these set up for Claude as well. So after a file edit, I run a bash script and that bash script is, where is it? Hooks / after file edit. Hooks, cursor, hooks. Oh my gosh. H, after file edit. Do I still have this? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. It's literally in here. Okay. So after file edit is here. Okay. So after the file runs and edited by a convex files sync types, then check the downscript TypeScript errors. And then the TypeScript JavaScript files like lint the specific file. So this will run basically after every file is touched. When an agent touches any file, cursor automatically runs this. But now we need Claude to do the same. So that way I don't have to like guide the agent and the agent will be more autonomous. So this is a big clue. On stop, when the whole agent actually stops, it takes a look at everything. And this is kind of what we want to do is run a linting command. So make sure everything is linted and then just do a bun run build. I just want to make sure that everything runs correctly. So I'm going to tell it Claude Code about this so that it can do this for us. But first, we're going to go ahead and set up some of the safe stuff here. That way we don't have to YOLO our stuff. Yes, allow reading from everything. Okay, cool. This is great. My current platform is highly dependent on verified long-running output with Claude Agent SDK, 44 million tokens. Bro, you're cooking. You're absolutely cooking. Oh, wow. Okay, so great. Look at this. This is really cool. Awesome. So do you want me to make this edit? Yeah, this looks pretty good. Yes, allow this edit. Okay, cool. Awesome. I like my approach. Thanks, man. Yeah, we're just trying to like get this going around here. I feel like if you're coding right now with Claude, like pull up. Like that's all you have to do. We're just going to be pulling up here, just doing this type of stuff. And this is what I want to hang out with. I want to hang out with y'all like who are doing this type of stuff right now with me, you know? Because I feel like this is what we need to do. So if I search my agents, claude.md, I only have one. Look at how big this claude.md file is. Trash. I'm gonna just throw this away. Literally, I have to throw this. I'm gonna throw this away. This is too big of a file. I can't be doing this. Did you see Boris's claude.md file? Like he only had like 5 lines, bro. Look at this. This is nasty. 272 lines. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. But this was done a long time ago, right? This is back when the agents weren't as smart. With Opus 4.5 thinking, we don't need this instructions like this anymore. See, like these key commands, like this was the reason why Boris and all these people architected their tooling. So this is how we first started. When we started coding, this is what we needed for our AI agent to work. As time evolved, as thinking models got introduced. So thinking models introduced a whole new paradigm as well. So these AI companies figured out that they can add tooling in the mix so that they would train these models to basically accept the tool calls, to do some like type of like reasoning. So it would output some type of traces of stuff. And then it can introspect that and say, oh, I need to do something else, right? So you would basically course correct in the middle of an inference call, right? So like you type some stuff in and it could figure stuff out. So before all that stuff, we had to like literally put this stuff in here so that the agent would already kind of know how to do it in the first run. But now we're basically ripping all this stuff out. I'm just going to throw everything away and kind of start from scratch because now that stuff is baked into Claude Code. So Claude Code in February is going to be like almost a year old. And I think my homeboy Boris was using it 6 months before it was out to public. My guy was using AGI and like kept that in his bag before he let anyone else know. That's some crazy stuff, by the way. So like these guys have been coding with Opus 4.5 probably for 6 months or more. And we're just like 2 months in, right? Like not even a month in. So yeah, all this stuff is going to go away. I'm just going to delete it right now. Claude MD, where does this? Yeah, this is gone. Actually, I'm just going to not gone. I'm just going to just delete it. Delete. Yeah. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it this tweet from Boris. And I'm just going to like, just give it this screenshot. Right? Oh man, this is wild. Okay. So we're rebuilding from scratch. We will rebuild Claude. Okay. All right. Let me get this set up correctly so I have my screenshots in the right places. Okay. So I'm literally just going to give it that tweet from Boris. I'm saying like, your boy Boris says that my Claude MD file needs to look very similar to this. Review my project and help me write a similar Claude MD file so that it's succinct like this. We're now in 2026 and in the modern era. Let's cook like this, gentlemen. Let's see. I'm really curious to see what it does. Boris also can burn as many tokens as possible, so there's efficiency as well. But you know what? Like, I think the fact that they're still making this tooling, and the fact that they make it available for everyone, so you're paying $200 a month, right? Like they have compute constraints too, because they're literally giving everyone more than $200 a month. You already know that on the API cost, right? So, like while they are incentivized, I think they're just good engineers and they're just trying to make their product as best as possible. So look at this, always use bun, not npm. And then look at this, like make changes, bun lints. So I don't even think we need this, to be honest, because I have hooks files. So I think, yes, allow edits during the session. Sure. Yeah. Okay. So look at these tokens. I'm going burr. Okay. I actually don't even think we even need that, to be honest. Like, because we'll see. So now this is convex backend, Tailwind CSS, Clerk, Stripe. Keep it tight, like the Boris example, just the commands you need for quick reference. You can also add don't X rules to catch Claude mistakes, same as his team does. So I want you to take a look at the, I think, hooks. Yeah, hooks. I have a hooks directory. As I set this up from Cursor, and basically this helps the agent run these scripts, can you look up to see what the Claude equivalent is here for us running in Claude Code? Okay, because I already have the scripts in there, so I don't know what Claude will do to actually get this stuff set up. So yeah, after file edit, find the documentation about Claude, this thing. So yeah, I'm just letting Claude do its thing. Cool, awesome. What if you use local models to offload some of those tokens, like a hook that runs local models in different tasks? You know what, Mike? I think right now it's all about like simplifying things. Everything that I've been reading about agents is just about keeping things simple. So like even the people who are trying to orchestrate these runs overnight, they keep, like Cursor wrote in their paper, they're saying like, we tried these crazy orchestrations, but the ones that were simpler were the best, right? So like, as much as it is to introduce another like model, you just need a really good smart model. So Opus 4.5 is that model. And it's super like, you don't have to give it as many instructions because eventually it will figure out what it needs to do, especially if it just has a task or goal in mind. So that's what's really, really cool here. So let's take a look. So what happened here? So it says Claude settings local in your project. Okay, so your cursor hooks do two things. After file edit, yeah, this is exactly what we went through. So it's going to create a claude./settings local in my project root. And it's basically going to do this similar command. So this is what's basically in my bash script, but now they actually put them in the actual JSON. So this is the command that it's going to run. That's pretty efficient. And then it's going to do echo running the final checks. Okay, so the key differences from Cursor is that Cursor has the after file edit. And then with Claude Code, they have post tool use and edit write matcher. And then for Cursor has stop, and then Claude Code has capital S for stop. And then Cursor has separate shell files where Claude Code has an inline command with shell scripts. So these are inline commands. So this is the actual command that's ran, and it does it all in one shot. I didn't write this. Claude is writing this. It's really a bad mofo with this stuff. Same, use JQ to parse. Perfect. Okay. Alternative, use existing scripts. If you prefer keeping the shell script, point them here. This will probably be the best because that way I have one file. I already know it works with cursor, and if I make any changes, then I benefit from here. So you can also have /hooks/ commands for interactive setup. You want me to create the settings? Yeah, create it. And we'll do the existing scripts. Actually, that's it. I'll just say, yeah, create it. I don't think keeping the same file is going to matter or whatever, to be honest. And if something happens, I'll just have them update it both. Like at this point, I'll just do whatever's preferred because if this works already, I haven't fingled with this. But if I already know that this works and that's what Claude's recommending, I'm just going to go with that because it's just code can be updated as fast as possible. Actually, this is preferring this new method. I didn't even have to tell it. Okay. Yes. Cool. Okay. Cool. Also, Mike, I think with the model thing that we were talking about, because you said you built an orchestrator, this is kind of where I'm thinking about going because I don't know if you know this. Check this out. I got me one of these. This is the NVIDIA's new DGX Spark, and I'm going to unbox this tomorrow live. So if you're tuned in, tomorrow I'm going to do a live stream, probably in the morning, where I'm going to unbox this guy. I literally just got this the other day, and this thing's heavy as hell too. So it's like the Founders Edition. It's like 128 gigs of RAM or something, or 20. It's a beast of a machine. So we're gonna go through all that because I'm going to have this basically sitting here. And I do want to hand off tasks to the model. And this is kind of what I was also thinking is like, maybe I can train my own orchestrator that can follow some of these plans that can sit in the middle of this whole thing. So it can basically be, the Spark would be the one that's kind of controlling instances of Claude and kicking off and handing off tasks and basically emulating me. You know what I mean? So this is going to be really, really cool. So I'm going to play around with that. So that'd be really fire. Yeah, this is crazy, right? Yeah, right? That's where we're going with this. Yeah. You can tell someone to bake you a cake. If you don't tell them and have ingredients in the kitchen, they would just go to the store and buy everything. That's my weird analogy. Yeah. I like that analogy though. That's fire. Yes to training. However, do you store trajectories? I don't. But please tell me more. I'm totally new to this. I'm designing my own course. When I say my own course, it's not to be sold. I'm literally just going into Claude Code and I'm saying like, this is kind of like my roadmap. I need to learn I want to like, part of the reason of just like having a Mac is I don't have access to CUDA. So like I can't do cool stuff. And now with the DGX Spark, I can do a bunch of cool stuff and I can even tune models and take advantage of that cool hardware. And so this is something because I went to CES and I was able to talk and I got some demos from the NVIDIA team. And I was like, yo, this is insane. So I can stack two of these guys and like, I'll be going some crazy stuff. I also want to learn how to do some speculative decoding. So they have some models that do that. So you basically get a smaller model to pre-compute some of the tokens so that like, this big model that's running can rely on that. And if it still follows course, it'll basically take, that cache of models that have already pre-computed on the smaller model and do some type of really cool inference stuff like that. So yeah, I have a lot of cool ideas. Also, Exo Labs are my friends. So Alex Chima is amazing. Some of the Brev folks, I became good friends with them. So like they're at NVIDIA. A lot of cool stuff coming up. I'm so excited for these streams in the future. So yeah, I need to get my Claude Code game up because a lot of that's going to be very helpful too when I do some of this type of coding. So that's kind of where we're headed with this. So yeah, if you're moving between models and systems, you'll want to have context in any AI that can pick up anytime. So if it'll jump through them all. Yes. But I'm thinking about even more simpler system than that, to be honest, because all I have to do is like literally just write to a file or write to some area. And then the next model, like these models don't really need a lot of memory. The first part is just the big plan and then kind of stuff picking up between them. The orchestrator really will only act as a planning person, but then that can be Opus 4.5. But I don't know. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what that looks like. So the fine-tuning trajectories will enable better prompt adherence. Okay, cool. And produce. If uncertain if Claude Code natively stores trajectories, yeah. Okay, the agent, my company is built around agent SK, which always stores. Okay, please tell me more about this for fine tuning. Is that legal as well? Like, are you allowed to take these trajectories and fine tune them? Just really curious. Yeah. Like when I say legal, I mean, is it legal to scrape all the data on the internet and then like resell it to everyone like this for $200 a month? Yeah. And probably is as legal as that, right? Yeah. Done. Added hooks to your existing. Okay, let's go. We're cooking now. So your existing cursor shell scripts now run in Claude Code 2. After any file edit, if it convex file types will sync, and then I'll stop responding. When I stop responding, lint will. Let's go. Let's go. We're cooking now. Okay, so now we have the hooks set up. Let's close that, and then we have our stuff that's currently allowed to run with our bash stuff because we can't just YOLO dangerously everything. We're going to deny env files from being read, which is great. So I think that even means like MCP servers and stuff won't be able to read them. That's not included will still prompt for git push, git reset. Perfect. You can run / permissions in Claude Code to see these rules. No, we're good. At git push too. Damn. No, I'm good. I'm common file operations are allowed like these. Okay, cool. What about allowing for exa and sref to do their MCP stuff? Okay. Because those are the two MCPs I use a lot. But I don't use them all. So that's another thing too. I'm not going to use as many MCPs as anymore. So like I probably don't even have to use exa as much as I used to. And even ref. I'm probably going to keep it super minimal unless Claude really fumbles the bag or there's some obscure documentation. I'm just going to let it do its thing. So that's what's up. Okay. So, I think that's what I wanted to do. In my claude.md file, I also don't want it to use my exa or ref unless I explicitly tell the agent to do it. I like how it says Claude. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Cool. I used to use the convex skills, but I don't anymore. The agents are really good at this. I think if it fails at something, I'll point it at a convention and I might even make a skill file around it. But that's kind of where I'm going with this. I'm basically not really going to be using it. So do not use exa ref tools unless explicitly asked. Prefer local code-based exploration first. Yes. Okay. Nice. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Google AI, ADK, Claude SDK, OpenAI SDK, all output trajectories when running agents, provides insight towards tool calling thinking command. This is useful for, that's interesting. So yeah, I guess you can capture that. That's really interesting. In my opinion, you still want to reference docs available lookup because there's still hallucinations that can happen. Yeah, I think for the most part though, like you can use the web search that's built into Claude Code. I find that people say that it works pretty well. So do not use, okay, cool. So let's take a look at our files now. So now we're basically down to our claude.md file. It's going to look like Boris's thing. So I don't even know, do we even need this type of stuff? Let's see. Since we have hooks, do we even need? I think, is this the session with Boris in here? No. I'm going to do Claude and then do /resume. And then Boris, your boy Boris says that my MD looks. I think that's the session right there. This is your boy. This is with your boy Boris. All right, man. This is probably like the best session here. Okay, so your boy Boris says, let's go ahead and as far as what we're thinking is. Yeah, do we still need those bun commands inside the claude.md file? Because now we have these hook commands and stuff, and I think we should have what we need, right? Okay, cool. Does anyone want a free guest pass / passes to share? Let me know if you want some. I'll get you a pass so you can try out some Claude Code because I have some guest passes to share, so why not? You know, source code over docs. Yes. I think Gina is the most used MCP server. It's really good at allowing Claude to find stuff online. Yeah, right now I'm basically not doing that because I don't really need to, right? I mean, that's what's up. Hey, Justin, how's it going? Good evening. All right, so check it out. Like we're actually making our Claude MD file that much smaller. That's amazing that we're gonna go ahead and do that. Yo, why not? Okay, so we're literally getting rid. Oh, look at how it got rid of this MCP tools things. That's interesting. So what did it say? Bun. Okay. But what about the thing about exa and ref tools? Because I'm only the one who should allow it to run. The agent should not be allowed to use that, I think. I'm just going to keep it even simple. Let's see. Okay, so slimmed it down. Now Claude only has commands that aren't automated. So format manual, dead code manual, and then pre-check. Cool. Okay, cool. Perfect. So added this back in. Okay, so perfect. Let's see what our current stuff looks like. Bun run dead code. Okay, so I think I have a remove. I think, what is the name of this file? In my cursor, I have a file called the dead code audit. Okay. I don't think I have dead code. Is that something that's built into Bun? I've never seen this before. That's really new. Yeah. So let me check in some of these changes because these are pretty wild. So we've basically taken our Claude file and just like removed all of that stuff. Now our Claude file is tiny. Our Claude file is super tiny. Look at this. 28 lines. That's how your Claude file should look like. If your Claude file is probably over 30 lines, trash. Like literally just trash it. Just go to, all you have to do is go to this tweet right here from Boris. I'm going to link this. This is probably like the most important tweet you need for 2026. Like literally this tweet right here is the tweet that you need for 2026 to get started. Just go to this thread from Boris and just start cooking on this. Like literally just go through and like, okay, this is what we're doing right now. This is, if we spend any more time on anything else, it's going to be a waste. You're going to burn a lot of tokens, right? Like having these extra MCP stuff, we're going to burn a lot of tokens. We're going to lose a lot of context. The model's going to be feeling really dumb. And so when you hear people reviewing the models, the first thing you want to ask them is like, how big is your Claude MD? How many Claude MD files do you have? Y'all only need just one. And if it's over 30 lines, get out of here with this. Yeah, we can't even have a conversation yet, right? We got to get on the same level, right? We got to have like these hooks and stuff that are currently set up that we have going on in there. We also have to have like just this is the formula right here from the inventor of Claude Code. Like even he did too much, right? Like he doesn't need to right? Like we already have this. Like we don't need to tell the agent this unless it keeps messing up and wanting to use NPM. Then I'll probably add this back in, but I don't even need it myself, right? Like I feel like we're cooking. Like, yeah, that's what's up. So yeah, we're here. Here we are. So always use bun. Okay, we have this bun run format. Let's see what else it says here. It's in your package JSON. You're already using NIP. Oh, okay. NIP is a tool that finds unused files, exports dependencies. It's not built into bun, but it's a separate package. Dead code fix. Okay, cool. Okay. So do you want me to show? Okay. Yes. So cursor, I made a cursor rule around this. And so this may turn into a skill file. Actually, I think that's what I'll do. I'll turn this into a skill. We should probably turn this into a skill file. So this is the dead code audit. So the skill file is the way for the agents to progressively see this context that they need. So in cursor as a rule file, this will only get loaded whenever I would actually summon it. So I have to do the app file. So something similar in Claude Code. So like the auto apply will literally just happen if the agent detects that this is the task that it needs to do. So I'm just going to tell it to take this rule file that I made for my repo to basically get rid of dead code and turn this into a skill. So that'll be usable here. This is a fire skill actually. So yeah, now we're gonna build a skill. So these are the things that we need so that we can run the agent for as long as possible. So like pruning dead code, right? Really important. Building and linting and making sure that when the agent run finishes, it can continue to output the stuff that's really accurate. If it didn't, then it would go back and fix itself. Otherwise, we have this really bad code and the agents get in bad loops, right? So we're keeping what basically Jeff Huntley says is to keep the locomotive on the track. our goal as an engineer is to keep the locomotive on the track. So anything you can do, like adding these little rules and things that not rules, but like these little scripts and all this stuff really helps the agent stay on the track, so it doesn't go off the rails. You know, and then we're going to be ready for Ralph, right? Like I feel like this is like the precursor of things that we need, even just for day-to-day workflows. And then we're going to be flowing like Boris is, right? So that's kind of how you can ship software at a velocity that probably your peers aren't yet doing, but I think this is going to be a really handy guide here. So, okay, so now we have this set up. The thing that we need to set up is this dead. Okay, cool. I have a cursor rule, dead code audit. Yeah, that I'd like to turn into a Claude skill. Can you look up your skill builder and do this for us? Okay. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So now I'm having Claude do this type of thing here. Let's go. Okay. But prompt splitting is not being discussed for context injection from hooks. Prompt splitting. Please explain a little more. I'm trying to figure out what that means. And Claude Code in my cursor crash. I'm already getting ghosty, bro. I think it's probably the best way to do it right now. So I have a cursor rule. Okay, so now it's using the Claude Code guide. Okay, so it's done. Tool. Got it. Let me create the skill for your cursor rule. So now it's going to create a Claude skills dead code. And yes, okay, cool. Perfect. So now it's going to create a skills file for this. Let's go. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We are cooking, fam. Are you guys cooking with Claude Code right now? Or are you guys like switching back and forth because your favorite YouTubers are saying, you have to use, these are the 5 reasons you have to use GPT 5.2 codex right now. No. We're trying to become software professionals right here. Like this is how we ship software. This is going to be how we're like become really elite in 2026. Sadly, we Windows users don't. Oh, no, you can use iTerm though, right? Shots taken on there someone. No, it's funny. I'm just kind of being funny because low key, I'm kind of getting tired of like just YouTube content. So that's kind of why I like to do live streaming. And then I tend to like, I wanted to grow as a content creator. So I would literally just watch everyone's YouTube videos and just copy them on the same topics. And then I realized that like, what's the point? Because everyone else is doing the same thing. So then I just said, let me just kind of do me now. So I'm just doing me. I'm shipping software and I'm just showing you how we ship software. I think that's probably the best way to do things. So create file. Okay, so we have a dead code skill now. So this would audit and remove dead code when cleaning up unused functions, exports, and files. Perfect. And so these are the allowed tools that we're allowed to use with convex functions. We take a look for dead validators and like unused helpers. And here's the philosophy. Agents like to create new code instead of reuse things. So this is really, really important. This skill helps remove code and not add it. So before creating any new functions, search for existing code first. Beautiful. This skill is fire. I'm going to drop this skill in my Discord. So if y'all in my Discord, you're going to get this skill. This is going to be crazy. Quick audit. Run the automated checker first. Run the dead code skill. And then auto fix the safe removals. This is insane. So the internal functions are never called by CTX run query. Great. This is amazing. Unused patterns. Perfect. Yeah, this is going to search through all of my stuff here. This is like convex specific. So the stack I like to ship with, this is why it's going to my Discord, is because I like convex. I like Next.js. I like Clerk for authentication. But I think this is like very convex focused here. So safe delete checklists. Beautiful. Red flags when not to delete. Looks good. Beautiful. Yes, allow. Perfect. This is hot. This is really hot. Okay, cool. Claude Code all day. That's what's up. Oh, my bad. I just joined. Slash passes. Oh, okay. I'll do slash passes. That'd be $400, bro. Let's go. Is it Claude? All right. Who's ready for some passes? Slash passes? All right. Let's go. So I have 3 left. So if someone uses this referral, it's Claude AI referral. This is literally just going on the live stream right meow. So if you see this, you can click this link, this URL. Just share a free week of Claude Code with friends. So y'all can get on this free week here. There's three passes left. I think it's literally the same URL for all 3 passes. So if you know someone, you can literally just save them from their existence. If they're like anti-vibe coding, just give them this path and say, here is the key to your future. And you're going to thank me in 2027 because you're going to come back like a giga Chad. I think I think this update is really the thing that's going to break a lot of people. Like this thing is just going to like send people crazy. So that's the guest pass there. Copy link to, okay, we did that already. Cool. All right, cool. Most of my clients submit 5K token requests to my platform. Orchestrator deconstructions, writes, delegates. Damn, bro, you're cooking. Thanks. Sweet. Claude Code gang. Yeah. Oh, AJ Orbit, bro. Like AJ Orbit? Is this AJ Orbit from who I know back in the day? Let me know, bro. Is this you? Because I think I know you like from a long time ago. So yeah, let me know. If you're cooking, bro, this is so crazy. I think he might have one of my original t-shirts I first printed, which was kind of wild. All right, let's see. Dead code created. So Claude skills dead code. Is the Claude Code a subscription? Yes. Claude Code is is $20 a month. You can get, I think it's like $100 a month or $200 a month. So $200 a month is pretty much, if you're going to be coding like this, like we pretty much just generate specs or plans. And then from the plans, we have the agent write the code. The $200 a month is probably going to be the best deal that you have right now. You can, spend that money in like Cursor and you'll get like $400 worth of compute. That'll generally, if you're coding all day, like 10, 12 hours a day, you're probably going to go through that in like 5-10 days. If you're using it in Claude Code, you'll have weekly limits that you'll hit. You'll have some daily limits. You'll have all kinds of other limits that reset. So you'll get to use it again. But like if you're just getting started, I would say start low and just keep upping your ante. It may feel that you're burning through credits really quickly, but once you get that $200 a month, it feels like you're not even touching the limits at some point, unless you're really crazy like some of these people like my Discord. Now I can use dead code in Claude Code and run the audit. Okay, cool. So let me just copy this out into skill.md. Okay, cool. Slash dead code in Claude Code and run the audit. Slash dead code. Claude. Slash dead code. Ooh. Okay, this is really cool. Let me just make sure I have stuff checked in. So as of now, I'm going to check in some of these changes because now I have a skills file. Yo, this is a fire skills file. Okay. So in my app, I have this skills file, which will basically do this thing. So, and then my Claude MD file is now tiny. Okay, so I'm going to just make these changes here. Perfect. Commit. Sync changes. Nice. So yeah, my Claude MD file is tiny. Let's just see this dead code thing. I'm going to see. Let's just run it. I'm just curious to see how Claude's going to do it. So we should have the Opus 4.5. Yeah, Opus 4.5. I haven't even given it thinking commands, but yeah. I'll let the dead code checker for you. So, okay, now it's basically doing the dead code checks. So it's checking for things. So script dead code exited with 1. Why? 32. Wow. Oh, okay. Dang. Analyzing UI component exports. Cool. So it's doing its thing. Dude, you have 2 subs. Yo, bro. Dude, this my guy is cooking right now. You got like 2 subs, 2 chains, 2 cars, 2 women. Oh man, that's what's up, man. Claude does not need to see my browser history. Cannot risk being flagged. Bro. Okay. I'm not even gonna ask. I swear. I renamed it to Claude Goat. That's a good one. That's a good one. Ever thought of letting Claude dig through your browser history and discover your own pain points worth solving? That's possible. Yeah. I think I do have pre-tool hooks. No, I don't think I have this set up yet. But we'll see. Let's see what's going on here. So here's some dead code. So define locally where it's used, and then it's only used internally within the file, and then all deprecated functions that are not imported anywhere. Keep the UI component exports. Let me remove the dead code. So in here, format duration, perfect. Do you want to edit this file? Yes. Okay, cool. Format timestamp. Oh, I know why. I was prototyping. Oh, that's interesting. During one of my prototyping sessions, I didn't realize I left this code in here. Wow, that's interesting. Wow. Okay. Why do I have this? what's going on here? Format defined locally, but where it's used, and then only used internally within the file. So like this is kind of where it's at. Interesting. All deprecated functions that are not imported anywhere. Whoa, this is crazy. Okay, what's going on here? This is awesome. Export const. Okay. Display threading mode. Oh, wow. What the heck? Now let me run the dead code checker again to verify the fixes. Reduced 32 to 12 unused exports. The remaining 12 are all Shadcn UI exports, which should be kept. Perfect. Damn. Yo, I love this. This skill file is fire. I'm not gonna lie, this is really great. Yo, thanks for the passes. Sweet. Yeah, let's try it for 7 days. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You become AGI, bro? Bro, no way. AJ Orbit, do you still DJ, bro? This is like, for those who don't know, I have a DJ history. So my boy, AJ Orbit, goes way back. I simplified your path while looking for CES vids. No way. Yeah, Will I am. Dude. That's so awesome. That's so cool. I'm just vibe coding, cooking while enjoying the live streams. So cool. Yeah, open code is really fun. I like that. But if you haven't tried Claude Code, bro, Claude Code is pro. Claude Code is minimally configured. Almost all experiences building with Claude Agent SDK for Prod Enterprise. Nearly all the functionality agent skates natively support in Claude Code. Yeah, that's fire, bro. Yeah, so right now we've done quite a bit of setup here. So dead code audit is complete. So now we've exported these defined locally in transcript editor. So this is a duplicate. I like this. File only used internally. And so you see why it's important to have something like a dead code removal. You could even do some research on your own code base and try to have it generate your own skill file for something like this. You just have to put the agent in plan mode. So Claude Code say, hey, I want to like remove duplicate code and dead code in my repo. Can you do some research on how to do this? And then Claude will actually be really smart to figure that out. That's all you have to do. Literally just talk to Claude like a 5th grader, and that's it. It's going to say, if there's any more questions, you can ask me more clarifying questions that you want to kind of do that type of back and forth. And it's really amazing. So don't be too afraid to like prompt this thing, because Opus is really, really smart. It's really, really good. And you start to see the output that it can output, stuff like this. There's no way I would prompt the specific things. So how to tell that you're like prompting incorrectly now in 2026 is if you're being way too specific, right? My friend was really funny. It's like, do you say like hot dog, or do you say like, pig wrapped sausage blanket thing? Like if you're being too descriptive and too whatever, like then you probably have to kind of step it back a little bit. So he had a really good idea saying, just talk to it like a 5th grader. And that's kind of how and then ask any clarifying questions if you need, any more information from me. So really simple, really succinct, and then you can start to get a lot of intelligence from the model, and the model will really try to figure itself out, which is the joy of using a really smart model. So these look pretty good. And look at this. We removed 1,000 lines or 70. Damn, we touched a lot of, bro. Oh, wow. Look at all these changes. That's crazy. So what did we do? Oh, we ran linting on all these files. I hate that we did that. Okay. What I'm going to go do is go back here and then go back here saying, okay. So it looks like we ran linting on a lot of files in my code base, and possibly even stuff we didn't touch. And I don't want to check in all those files. Can you help me with this? And can we also prevent this in the future? Because I don't want to keep linting my entire code base. Okay. Have you tried Claude Cowork yet? I've seen it, but I haven't tried it yet. Like kind of waiting on this right now. I'm more focused on getting my Claude Code set up because I spend a lot more time in Claude Code. But I think it's promising. Like I'm planning to do a lot of accounting very soon for my taxes. So that's when we're going to pull in Cowork. So what I wanted to do is like dig through emails, find receipts, find PDF documents related to any accounting stuff. And that's where you can tell an Opus 4.5 model to be really smart about it, saying, hey, take a look at my taxes from last year. Here's everything that we have. Like, can you go find these in my emails again and see what's going on with my business and see what's new, and then find any outliers as far as like any emails or PDFs I should be looking for receipts or money that is transferred to some places. So you just let Claude do the co-working thing, and it should be pretty cool after that. So it doesn't require. I mean, I could even do it in Claude Code, but having a GUI for it's kind of nice actually. So that'd be kind of cool. So what are we doing here? So it's going to do a git command. So it's going to check for stuff. Do you want to proceed? Yes. Okay, cool. And you can show me being done. Haven't heard anything about headless CC being amazing. Okay. Claude desktop app now has code preview. Yes. So Claude, yeah, let me see. Claude. Yeah. Let me see if I can pull this up. Pull up. So yeah, I just saw this today because I retweeted this, where the new desktop app in Code has a way to preview like new diffs and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. So they built that in, which is amazing. So yeah, this desktop app is fire. They've done a lot of cool stuff with this. So yeah, so I can select this repo. So if you're in here, if you have a Mac, if you do Command, Shift, and G, so Command, Shift, and G will actually pull up this window. And this is probably like the best cheat code you can ever, if you're ever anywhere in Finder, Command, Shift, G is your savior. So now you can navigate anywhere. So I can say Workspace, and then you can just go to this. And like, so I can go to like these different projects just by, typing that stuff in. So that's probably like the best way. So instead of trying to figure out your way around these like navigations, just Command Shift G, start typing stuff in. You're going to get there super fast. I swear it's a cheat code. So now we can, like, I could start making changes to my code base. So this can run locally or this can run in the cloud. So this is what Boris was talking about. But we wanted to make sure we had our Claude stuff set up and our hooks and stuff set up before we start doing any cloud runs. Because this is what's going to keep the agent on track. So the more that we get some of the scaffolding stuff that we got set up. So the scaffolding are these bits and pieces around the model so that it can start to kind of stay on track. So far we have basically shortened our claude.md file to like under 30 lines, which is perfect. Which is what we wanted. We added some like hooks in some ways. So this is like during the agent runs when it's running to make sure it does some linting. And then after the fact, if it detected some changes into convex, it's going to run bonx convex dev -- once. So that allows the agent to check for any type errors. And then it just runs the command once. Because normally when you run bonx convex dev or, npx convex dev, it's just going to stay open because as a human, you're used to just leaving the terminal open and checking for any type errors. But now, since we're doing a lot of agent coding, the default should just be -- once. You just add that into your command and that's just going to run once and the agent will pick that up and figure out what to do next from that. So that's kind of what we're doing. So then we're going to be able to pop into Claude Desktop at different times, whether it's a cloud environment or locally, and start making changes to our repo. And so then we can have like 5 terminal windows open, plus like 5 of these guys open and just start really shipping software like a madman. Okay. So I think that's kind of an interesting way that we're going to be looking at this here. So yeah, that's what's up. Let's see what's up here. All right. So what do we got now? So it looks like we run linting. So you're right. We only touched 4 files, but the formatted 82. And so it took a look at, it's just running all these git commands, which is great. So now it's basically done it so that it's only going to write the diff of things that we've only changed. Nice. And then we have format all if we want to do everything. Perfect. Okay, cool. So now it's basically told it to fix itself. And so it prevented future occurrence and updated the package JSON scripts. So it's going to run bun run format. And so whenever you go to a package.json, this is basically a script file. So it's going to say, if you do bun run and then format, this is what you're going to see. It's going to write this, and then this $sign will allow you to pass in anything. So it's going to do git diff name only, and then do this type of thing. So I just want to do one more check because this to me may take additional time. I don't know how much more time overhead, but let me just stage the changes I have now. So you can see now for in cursor, we have the changes here. So I'm going to hit the little plus. This will stage our changes. So this is basically the changes to the script. Now I'm going to get rid of our chat window. Hi, chat. Okay. FFmpeg. This is the stuff we touched. I think we're just running linting here. And then have some dead code we cleaned up here. This is great. And then transcription models. So this is some of the dead code we remove. Get tier configuration by ID. We no longer need this. Deprecated, only used by perfect. So I even had stuff marked for deprecated and it hasn't really removed it. Okay. Now handles orchestrator and convex transcribe. Perfect. Wow. Okay. I could probably even remove more code if I told it to. But right now I think this is looking pretty good because I still need to test it as well. So now that this is here, I think we're okay. For this, is it diff? Is it backtick? Is this the only way to get what change? Or does the agent, or can the agent pass in context for a script? Or can this be part of a hook? That we have already have set up. Okay, so I'm just really curious to see, because I thought we set this up earlier with a hook, but I'm just really curious. Good question. Let me check what hooks you have set up. And then this is cursor, and then Claude, it says Claude settings local. So this is where we set up the hook. And then just really curious. I'm just going to doing some extra introspection here, because once we get this going, it's going to be, we're going to fly. But this, like this session here, you already have a great setup. The cleanest approach is format files for your existing this. Okay, perfect. So it already receives the file path and the way that files are formatted immediately after each edit. So format the edited file at the end, and then format the file if it's a supported type, and then bunx prettier right. Perfect. Okay. So now let's revert the package JSON, since the hook handles the formatting automatically. Perfect. Yes, I thought so. Okay. So it's going to just be bun format right. And then here, it'll just be format the file if it's a supported type. Okay, file path. Okay. And then is it passing in that file context in here? So let's see. Okay, now the formatting happens via your existing hook. Each file is formatted immediately after I edit it. No need to run format manually during sessions. Format still works for manual full code base when needed. Okay. Cool. Sauteed for 1 minute and 14 seconds. Perfect. Okay. So now that we have this, we made this change. Great. So let's check these changes in. All right, let's go. Sync. Okay. So now we have some of that stuff set up. So let's go. Okay. So we have the diffing stuff. We have some of the hooks. We have the cursor like skill that we created for removing dead code, which is good. And then we have the MCP stuff that we got cleaned up. And so ref tools. Okay. And then now that that's done, we're just going to do Claude. And let's go to LSP setup. So /LSP, no, plugins. So plugins. So we go plugin. We have to fix our installed plugins. For whatever reason, they're not working correctly. So the one that we want is the, I'm just going to disable this for now. Update mark for update. Let's see, update now. Disable it /plugin, because I'm not going to run a plugin if I don't need it right now. So disable plugin. I think it still works okay, but I'm not really exactly sure. I'm just being doubly sure. But the way that I can check is by checking into the context. So TypeScript LSP, and then front end design, go perfect. And then Pixel Lab is disabled, X is enabled, and ref is enabled. Perfect. And then marketplaces I can add. So Anthropic. So /plugins, we're basically using the default Anthropic marketplace. There are other people who have cool plugins, so they'll tell you to add marketplace, and that's kind of where we'll add stuff to the marketplace. And then we just feed it in the GitHub repo, basically. That's where we're going to be able to do that. So as of now, I don't think we need other stuff in here. Let's just take a look and see what else they recommend. So there's Playwright, security guidance, the reminder hook that warns about potential security. Yes, Atlassian, Agent SDK Dev, Figma, exploratory output style. That's interesting. Notions official. Yeah, unless I need it, I don't think linear greptile. Okay, Laravel, Vercel, Slack, LSP. Perfect. Stripe. Okay. I think we're good. Superpowers. Okay. I think we're good. Okay. So now that we're there, I'm going to do /context. Let's see what our context window is. So all we have this stuff here. So 22,000 tokens, MCP tools, system tools. Okay, cool. I think we're good. What is grass? This is all I do for 14 hours a day. Dude, thank you. I'm saving your comments. What's going on? I was just trying to see. Easy solution, LM Studio, local model, then Olama to ping tunnel. Okay. Okay. I can create a hook to automatically run the lint after touching a file. Yeah. You have convex ESLint and convex test set up. Yes, I have the current stuff set up, I think, right now. If security is not a concern, you could create a server, wrap the MCP, then ping for requests. Would not recommend. I don't know what you guys are talking about. There's like a whole side thread right now, I think, on you guys talking about maybe about local models. I think that's kind of what I'm thinking. What am I building, mate? So check it out. I'll show you what I'm building right now. I'm building lots of stuff, but right now I've been making some apps changes to Ray Transcribes. So this is my app that I use. I've basically accidentally vibe coded. No, I basically created this app so that I can do transcriptions. And this is like the fastest transcriber on the planet. You can take like a 6-hour live stream, throw it in here, and in less than 2 minutes, it'll be completely transcribed with super high accuracy. And check this out. We have like custom dictionary files. So like you can put your own custom dictionary files in here and it really, really cooks. So let me just rerun the app and rebuild everything here. So from scratch, bun dev. I think we got everything here. So check this out. I want to show you what we're cooking with. So you can add these specific names, like names or any specific provider or certain things. And that's really, really important. So what I accidentally discovered was that whenever you type in certain words, if your words are not transcribed correctly, you won't show up on Google searches. And AI, you won't show up on ChatGPT searches, you won't show up on Anthropic searches, you won't show up anywhere. But if you do have the right stuff in there, like you start showing up because you actually have the right key terms. So the biggest problem with YouTube's default transcriber is that it will take your words like GPT and like say that, or say curse ID or something like that. It is so bad. I don't know where they're at. They still never updated their transcriber. But what ends up happening now, like I have like loads of live streams and stuff like that, along with chapters and everything. And so that has basically been, you know, because of this and this is correct spelling and formatting, I'm showing up all over in these different searches. So whenever a topic shows up that's trending, usually like if I make a video about it or something like it's literally not even a video, a live stream, it could be 2 hours. I have timestamps and everything. And it like literally like agents love this stuff because they will write to it. So that's Ray Transcribes. So I made this on this live stream like about a year and some change ago, and just built it live. I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. There it is. So this was actually the first prototype, and it had no database, nothing. It was just literally just, you know, put it in, put it out. I was doing some clever stuff where I was doing a bunch of stuff on device. And so I would do a bunch of pre-processing, you know, locally, and then I would open up WebSockets and I would stream them up and then send up chunks, and like, it got really messy. And then eventually I was like, okay, let me actually make a database because now people are actually starting to pay me for this service. So I was just doing Stripe links by hand. And then it wasn't until I was traveling in Croatia that somebody paid me money and they're like, hey, I still don't have access to it. I was like, sorry, I'm on the other side of the world. And so that's kind of was like, I took it really seriously. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do everything, get it set up. So now it's like really amazingly performant. So super high performance. I'm running on Convex as my database. I have Clerk for authentication. I got a feedback, so you can give me feedback and stuff like that. If you guys want to try this right now, I can give you a link to try right now. So y'all can try this right now. So let's go ahead and do this. So let's go ahead and try. Let me see if I can generate a link real quick. So if I go to my app right now that's in production, let me go to the admin dashboard real quick here. And what I want to do is go to my trial invites, and then I'm going to create a trial link. So I'm going to do this for like the first 20 people that watch this stream. Y'all get access to it right now. I'm going to give you a 7-day access to it. Let me do the creator stuff. I'm going to get you creator access for 7 days. So create this link. I'm going to copy this and we're going to do this. So if you use this link right now, you can go to Ray Transcribes, my production app right now, live. And you can sign up for free. It's like 7 days. Like, so just use this link right now. And there's only 20 of them. So once 20 people have already signed up, you'll get 6,000 minutes to use in 7 days, and start transcribing stuff. Let me know. Please, 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 please submit feedback. Like when you use it, tell me what features you want, whether it's a bug or a question or anything like that, and just submit the feedback. That's going to be super helpful. And anyone who submits feedback, I'm going to give you basically, instead of 7 days, I'm going to give you some more days. So I'll send over another link, and I'll like, kind of review your feedback. And if it's actually very useful, let me know. But you'll get to try the transcriptions. You get to see like all your transcriptions here. And then you can reprocess with different models and do all that cool stuff. So yeah, you can download them as SRT files. I'm shipping an update literally tonight/tomorrow. So that way you can like adjust the links for the characters here. But also like you can do like different speaker diarization. So this is currently not live yet. So this is going to be for my premium folks. That's why I'm giving you creator access right now for 6,000 minutes for 7 days. So you can try out what this looks like. And kind of give it a shot. Like, make sure you add some custom dictionary stuff. But like, let's just say you do a transcription and you forgot to add like something that's interesting here. So like, I don't know, something, it did a pretty good job here, but like if you forgot a certain word like DeepSeek or O1 or something, you want to format it differently. You can obviously edit it and like update the transcript, but you can also reprocess again. And then, try again. Like if you had like Spanish, you want to retry Spanish, you hit reprocess. And so that'll do that for you there. So that'd be really cool. So yeah, like here, W's in the chat. I don't know what to say. Yeah, the model's really good. Like the model that I'm using, like I have a couple models that I'm using. They're really, really good. So you can see this is a long ass transcript. Look at this. This thing transcribes so fast. It's crazy. So this is the edit. So we can edit these transcripts. So yeah, this is how long is this live stream? Oh, I think I broke my app. I think this is, so this is loading up. Oh, I think I broke React. So I got to fix this bug. This is a pretty nasty performance bug, but basically I load the whole thing in memory in the browser. That sucks. Okay. Anyways, it's a 2.5 hour live stream. And yeah, so yeah, you can edit them. You can do that type of stuff. So that's cool. Let's see what else we have. Yeah, reprocess with different settings. Perfect. Cool. Okay. That's awesome. All right. So that's kind of what this is here. And I think I was fixing some bugs. What was I doing? I was getting my Claude Code set up because what I wanted to do is, yes, I am fixing some bugs actually. So one of the bugs I need to fix is with the reprocessing. So if you're in a different tier, you should not be able to reprocess, but yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, Grok is amazing. Can I get a Whisper flow? No, mine's is actually just a web app. It's mostly focused on content creators, but that's kind of where I'm like, I may do a desktop app, but we'll see. But my goal right now is just to mostly do this stuff on my own, which I do, yeah. I can actually use it for office work. Yeah, we'll submit feedback. Please, please, please let me know. Yeah, there's some people who actually use it for office work, exactly, where they literally just transcribe meetings and they just throw it in there. Like as far as like that type of stuff. Yeah, the tool is fire. Yeah. Does that use an LLM to just, yes, it uses an LLM. There's a couple that I use, Whisper V3 large. So yeah, I get amazing performance because I've optimized like the whole thing. So like from the client side to what happens on the server side, reprocessing, like all these little steps as an engineer, I went kind of crazy on. It's probably over optimized for like only 10 users. But now we have some more users, but like, please feel free to use it. If you give me feedback, I will give you more credits. Like I just want people to use it, and like any features that you feel like would be useful, it would be awesome. Obviously the people who are paying are going to get like the highest priority as far as like all these features that I'm adding are all paying users. So like those paying users are getting their features landing first. So, speaker detection, edit, like I had to like make a whole new editor, which is really cool. So I had to like learn about some new libraries. I'm not a web developer, by the way. Like that's what's funny. Like I've been able to like make games in Rust, like do web development, all thanks to these models. But I've been doing this for like last couple of years. So it's been really fun to kind of really cook with this stuff. Convos can handle all the backend, right? So you don't have to overload the client. There's a couple of things. Yes. So I'm doing it's literally a performance bug with React and me. It's the way that I'm loading everything in. So it works really well if they're like really short files, but yeah, that's what's up. I can fix that. in your workflow, have you tried Claude Ralph plugin? So this is kind of where I want to, the person who actually invented Ralph, which is Jeff Huntley, says that he does not recommend the Claude Code plugin. He actually just recommends doing a simple bash loop. And so one of the ways I've been able to like get into that type of loop was by starting off with a really good plan. And this is something that he like harps on, is like having good plans. But like detailed plans where you actually have these detail tasks to do. So I took a big feature, like this whole feature that I shipped that I'm just showing you with like the multiple speakers and like the editor and all that other stuff, that came from this plan. So this is a conversation inside of Cursor in plan mode. Like sometimes this plan mode is fire. Like I feel like this is the best plan mode literally right now in the game. And it's so fire. So it did this whole plan, like probably like 2,000 lines, but I got every single detail that I wanted all worked out in here, right? With research and everything, right? So this is exactly what I wanted. And then I had to break it down in these phases for implementing. So this is where you can take these types of things. In Cursor, you can check mark these and say build a new agent. And like that's how you can group them together. But typically, if you're doing a Ralph loop, each one would have its own window. So if the difference between that and the one in Claude is that it may or may not kick off the subagents or not, and the compaction and all these different things. The whole point of a Ralph loop is just to have one of these in a brand new chat with the specific brand new context window, has no clue what it's doing. It just loads the context of the plan and that task, it goes and gets out of there and you're done. That's all you need. So you technically need like one agent like to do some type of monitoring, and that's technically the shell script. So the shell script will literally just be like, hey, do this in a loop until everything's done. Look for this specific exit command. So, you know, whatever the command is you put in there is kind of what you're doing. So that's the Ralph loop in a nutshell. But this is something that requires also scaffolding around this to actually make this whole thing run really well. And part of that stuff that we were doing earlier in our chat was to set up some of these things like the LSPs. So like these protocols that the agent will listen for. So if it's writing code that isn't right, it's going to know right away that like, hey, this TypeScript stuff isn't compiling, and that's what it's going to do. So that's kind of what we're going to do. So that was plugins that we did. We have like the hooks file. We have like the dead code stuff, so the agents could occasionally run these types of things. And then we also cleaned up our claude.md file. So the claude.md file cleanup was the also most important thing. So that way the agent is actually smarter and not getting too many directions that are conflicting as well. So that's really, really important. So now that we have these set up, we should be able to, in essence, write our own shell script to do a loop for features and stuff like that. So that's kind of another way that you want to kind of think about this as far as like to be successful, especially in a Ralph loop, is to kind of get some of these corner cases. But yeah, and then start with smaller features. Don't do like a whole implementation plan like I did with like 38 to-dos. Or like build a soccer game. I'm gonna like my goal probably in the next month is to try to like redo that soccer game, but just in like one prompt basically in one shell script, and just have it redo like all the stuff that I learned, regenerate the specs, and then try to like basically set up all the things that I need to do just to let it go. So I should be able to do that with the right skills files and the right different things that I need, because now we're basically have already built it and we're going in reverse, right? So we're gonna like take all the specs of everything we built, all the different hooks files, kind of like what I'm doing here with Cursor, right? Like building it into Claude and saying, hey, what are all the things that we need to do so that we can run this in a loop and rebuild the game? We just need an architecture plan with specs, and it should kind of go off. So let me just show you what that looks like as far as an architecture plan. So that's Claude. Let me get some water. So I have a project, and I'll show you this plan. This plan was epic. We did this 12 days to Christmas. Killed it. We killed it. Yeah. So this is how we did this whole thing for the planning. Is this it right here? Shortening. Let's see. There is a chat that I'm going to look for. YEEBALL architecture. Let's see. You know what? I think it's in one of my Safari windows. So I'm going to go to, I'm going to make this new app here. I'm gonna find this because this was like probably the most epic prompt ever. So YEEBALL, live stream build, maybe. Was it this one? Yeah, this is it right here. This was the prompt of all. So this is how we did a couple things. One is we generated this epic architecture. And so this is kind of the way that I organized everything. So this is the conversation you want to have if you want to start an architecture for anything you don't know, like building a new app. Like I didn't know anything about Rust. I don't know about building a soccer game. I've never built a game in my life with like, in the web and stuff like that. So this is what we did. Help me walk through the details for a game I'm trying to make. The end of it should have people who are live in my live stream. When I put the stuff in the chat, the agent should be able to read the chat and those players should be able to interact. We also just have the capability for people to join online with a link to scan the QR code, and we get to put in the game live as well. Here are some of the insights, starting insights that I've been able to transcribe. So I transcribe this, right? But the insights are like what I call your yapping. So you want to basically yap your whole description of anything that comes to mind that you want to make for this app. And so you want to start with these types of specific brackets, and then you want to end it with this. This is an XML tag. So to close the XML tag, you have those angled brackets and you put the slash at the end. So that tells the model that whatever you're doing in here is something interesting. You want to be a little bit like descriptive, like insights is really incredible. You can do transcript, something that will give the model some type of direction that you're doing something in here so that it knows what you're talking about. So this is where I Whisperflow said exactly what I wanted to build. 5v5, reserve spots, just kept yapping my whole thing. Convex, like I want to use clerk. Since we're in December 25, use Code. So like I told it to use some MCPs to look up some of this task. And then this is the most important part at the very end of that whole thing. Make sure you have this at the end of your architecture prompt is to ask me more questions so we can be better understand how this app should be architected. And so that we can give the final markdown instructions to an AI coding agent to build. This is like the ultimate recipe. So just to start out again, tell it what you want it to do, that you need help for building whatever you're trying to build, right? And then what your sort of expectation / goal is right here. Insights are you yap whatever your insights are, close that off with the XML tag. And then the last part is to ask me more questions so we can better understand how to build this app. Make sure that extended thinking is on with Claude Opus 4.5, and you are going to absolutely annihilate 2026 with this game plan. This is insanely incredible how useful this is. So we see it going through using Code to do some research, and then it starts to like have some questions for the architecture. So make sure you answer these questions because this is going to help you with generating those specs and everything you need. And this golden file is exactly what you need to work off of to make this type of thing. I would not be able to make that game that I made with literally a new programming language. Sure, I'm an engineer, but I was able to basically act as a person who just knows what I wanted and tell it to help me architect this because it's smarter than me. And then it chunked it out into phases so that way we can just grab those pieces and just work on them and then iterate and work and work and work. So that's the simple goal. It is kind of simple, but it's actually, you'll be very impressed once you start to answer these questions on the recommendations and then make any types of back and forth. Someone in the chat told me about like Spacetime DB. So that's how we found out about that. And that's how we kind of started to fly. That's basically what we did to build our game. And then I had a preference for sticking to TypeScript, but it actually still recommended that I use Rust. I was like, all right, let me just kind of dive into it. And that's how we were able to do that type of thing. So once we came up with like the file, it presented the file for the architecture plan. And this is literally 2,000 lines for the architecture plan. So this plan is extremely comprehensive, all thanks to Claude Opus. And this is your golden document that you want to start with. A conversation, you start a new conversation, say, I want to work on this next thing. Look at this, NES World Cup 1990, Ray Fernando. Look at this table of contents, 16 chapters. Here's a project overview. This is a tech stack that we're working with. This is like your document for making this massive game. Multiplayer, online, basically zero lag all across the world. You can have multiple people. This scales up like crazy, right? All described in this document. We cooked, absolutely annihilated. This took me a day and a half of planning. I did 2 live streams on this. It was that important. That set the tone for the rest of the game, and we just kind of cooked from there. you can do these projects. Whatever you dream of, you can literally make today. Like, don't be scared. Opus 4.5 can help you. If you just follow that prompt structure, if there's anything you take away, pause this live stream, take screenshots, go back. There will be timestamps in this live stream that you can go back to and come back to this plan. And I want you to take screenshots, go apply it, drop in the comments. Also, how many people we got up in here? We only have 41 likes. We got to get the likes things up. This is going to get out to more. We need to get this signal out to more people, because this is how people have been able to make amazing software. Amazing architecture plans like this is how you get started. And then we start chunking out that work for everyone else. And this is absolutely crazy, right? So that's all this stuff here. So now that you have something that's fire like this, right? You want to take this procedures of everything you built and then create a skill file. So this is probably the next big secret that you want to do. Once you start getting into this workflow, you're going to be absolutely unstoppable, because you're now going to create skills from this. So what we do here is, like, I love this comprehensive plan. I want to make a Claude skill out of this. I was yapping this. I didn't even realize I didn't say Claude. I said Cloud. It said Cloud. In the future, I'd like to be able to tell it some of my ideas for the app, and it's going to be able to use the Exa MCP to do some research and help us make great specs like this in the future, no matter what tech stack we use. And then from here, y'all smashing that thumbs up here. Brilliant idea. Of course it is, right? It's going to pop it. Claude itself has a skill. This skill file is built into Claude. In Open, if you go on the web, you'll see it there. We even use it in our Claude Code app too. And then it's going to go through and build that skill file for you. This skill file is currently inside my Discord. You can grab this architect skill inside my Discord, and the people who are I have made a whole skill section. You can grab this. This whole thing is it has discovery questions, has a spec template for how it does this thing. So phase one is going to ask targeted questions. You just load the skill saying, I want to make this app and add this and use my architect skill. And then it's going to ask you questions. It's going to do some research. It's going to come back and give you basically this level of thing. And the way I organize it is I have basically small, medium, and large. So this is a large game. It's going to figure that out. If it knows you're making something really small, you could even tell it, I just want to make a tiny app, an MVP, just a one-page thing. So that way it doesn't go super crazy. And then you can kind of keep the scope down. But that's what it does. Now we have a skills file, and that's what it did. So we have our architecture plan that we have there. That skills file is literally, you're going to repeat it for any other idea you're going to be doing. And now that you have something pro like this, it's so fire. So Opus is the best at the moment. Hands down, it's insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah. WorkOS, interesting. Opus 4.5 Codex. So use both. So the way that I was using this model, especially when I was building the game, is like Opus would write code. I would do some things. Sometimes I pop back to 5.2 and have it verify some of the other work. So especially like for bug reviews, I found it pretty good. It's like 5.2 and like the Codex models as well. So that was very surprising. So Clerk for a game will cost you monthly active users. For a game, I didn't use Clerk. I just used the built-in stuff from Spacetime. So yeah. Yeah, like also monthly active users, like for my apps, if I'm charging $10 a month, it covers itself, because after about, so like 20,000 users or 10,000 users from Clerk, it's only 2 cents per user after that. So if you're charging $10, you're pretty much good. So, okay, cool. Yeah, that's what's up. Have you tried warp agents? I have not. They can monitor any bash command being executed inside your terminal and then watch Claude Code instance. So I've heard of people doing this with tmux. So Claude Code with tmux, and then having another Claude Code listen via the tmux output. So like you can you can basically do this without warp, I think. So really curious to hear. I haven't really experimented too much because I've mostly been focused on like getting my agents to run and learn all these techniques, like architecture techniques, cleaning up dead code, writing good hooks, figuring out like tool use stuff. So in the middle of the agent runs, like making sure what's the right things to do. Now I think I have a lot of the pieces to make my agents run extremely efficiency without all the crazy like extra fluff that people are building, because it's going to be all like built into my own little stack. So I use transcription for medical billing. So I can do, if you want me to, if you drop a feature request or if you want to send me a DM, like I can get you set up with the premium model on my Ray Transcribes app, because there is someone who wanted a medical thing too. And it cost me way more, but I want to make sure that those types of words and things are correct. So like that's going to be reserved for like ultra premium. So like if you sign up for Ray Transcribes using the link I had up earlier, that link will get you like a 7-day trial so that you can start throwing some stuff in there. So let me see if I can find that link up in here. I can't find it. I gotta scroll back pretty far. Okay, wow, that's pretty far back actually. So here we are. So if you hit this link right here, this little referral link thing, let me just see if I can copy it. Can I copy text? Okay, I'll go here. So I'm gonna drop this in again, so that way folks can actually. Oh wait. Oh, I almost messed up. I almost ended my stream by accident. Okay, here we go. Cool. So I'll drop it in again. So if you, I just put the link fresh. If you want to sign up, you can just go. That's 7 days. I'll give you like 6,000 minutes. Anyone who goes on the stream, there's only 20 of these like that are available right now. Please give me feedback, and if you give me feedback and I like it, you're gonna get some more minutes and stuff like that. You know, because I want to try to like make Ray Transcribes like a real like a SaaS type of thing. So that's, I mean, it is a real SaaS, but like I want to actually scale it up and get some more folks who are using it. So yeah, that's basically, that's the architecture plan, and that's kind of the sauce that you need, all based off of Boris's tweet. So this is also something we talked about earlier. If you, that's the Claude Pass. Oh, Funyuns. Okay. Yeah, let me get you that link real quick for Ray Transcribes. Hold on, let me see. App.raytranscribes. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, so let me just get this real quick. So here's the admin dashboard. Let me get you the trial invites. So we have 8 of 20 used. Okay, cool. Let me get this link here. Create trial link. So let me search for it real quick. Here it is. So this is the trial link that y'all need to try right now. And then let me copy the text. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. And then I'm going to put it up again, so that way it comes back up to the top. Cool. So yeah, give it a shot. That's the link right there. You can try right now. Just go ahead and sign up. Like there's still like I think 12 more slots left for you to try out. Give me some feedback. Let me know. I'm going to be dropping the new diarization feature, which is basically where you can select speakers. I'm doing some testing tonight, so that way it can drop tomorrow probably. So that's going to be, look out for the, if you're looking for this, you're going to look for the 11.11 update or 1.11.1 update. So that's the update that's right now. The one that's currently live is basically the stable version. So that's app.rate. I think it's 1.10. Yeah, 1.10.2. So the new update that I have coming in is going to be super fire. So you'll get that in there as well. So, okay, that's Ray Transcribes. So that's this loop. That's this. I think we have our Claude. I think we went through all of Boris's stuff in his recommendations. So keeping a lightweight Claude file. We got like some of this stuff. I got some slash commands already in Cursor. So let's fix some bugs. I want to fix some bugs. Like the bug I want to fix right now is this one that was bothering me. So we did the dead code stuff. We already got rid of some dead code. Do the review. Okay. And then I think we're already, we were taking a look at, okay. So the bug that I want to fix is around here. So I noticed an issue with transcribe ID. So this is the one I'm going to fix. So able to reprocess the transcript with the premium model. Okay. So let me just do this one here. So now let me just go to Claude. And then I also want to fix the LSP. So why did the TypeScript fail? /plugin. Because I need this plugin to work for us to be LSP. So TypeScript. Oh, I have to go to installed. So here is the TypeScript one. And then I'm going to just say update now. /plugin installed. TypeScript. Let me just disable. Restart to apply changes. Claude. Okay. Plugin. Okay. Installed, and then go to TypeScript, right? And we're going to enable this. Okay. Restart to apply Claude Code. Claude. I'm just making sure that stuff plugged in. It's still failing. LSP failed. Okay. I get LSP failed for TypeScript failed. Can you help me look into this for my Claude Code setup? And so while that's going, I'm using Ghosty, so I'm just going to pop open another Claude instance, and then I'm going to let that go. So I'm going to say, so I noticed an issue. Okay. So basically I'm going to have it fix this bug. So, and what I like to do, I like to just go into plan mode. So I'm just going to go into plan mode now. Perfect. So Claude's now in plan mode. It's going to start planning and looking through my code base. So I'll investigate the issue, and then it's also going to take a look at the LSP issue here. So that's what's up. Ray, for your cursor planning mode, do you use Opus 4.5 thinking? I use thinking. Yeah, pretty much thinking. Inside of cursor, everything's thinking. The max brain, all that. Yeah. Do I get 0.0005% cut for the medical model thing I sent a couple weeks back? Yo, are you the one who needs it right now? Did you hit me up already for it? Local encoded? If you haven't, just go ahead and sign into Ray Transcribes, say I'm local encoded or whatever, and submit a feedback request, because I'll get back to you over email. Because I want to hit you. Like for the folks who want the medical stuff, I can add that in as a like premium model, and then like I want to go back and forth with you, because somebody was doing something similar, and I was helping them out with that, but I couldn't get all the code and everything ready in time, so they had to pass. But anyone who wants to use it, let me know. I already have some other stuff already set up, but yeah, I want to make that possible. So yeah, plan mode is underrated. Like Boris says, use the plan as pretty much as much as possible. My LSP is also failing when I'm using bun. Oh, only works. Okay, that makes more sense. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Let's see what's happening here. So here's how to troubleshoot, then verify it's acceptable. Which TypeScript language server? Okay, so needs to be installed separately. So, okay. Yeah, because I'm using bun. Since you're using bun, you can also install it locally. So bun add this. Okay. Would you like me to run the diagnostic? So is it Command Shift D? And then I could just do bun add TypeScript language server. Hell yeah. So cool. And then, so now if I exit this, Claude, I should be good, right? Hell yeah. Okay, cool. So I have to just do this command. So if you're running, do this command right now. I'm going to put it in the chat. Run this command. If you're like me, I install stuff via bun. That's all you have to do. Basically just ask Opus, and Opus will figure it out for you, right? Command W, perfect. Okay, cool. So now we're agitating. Let's go. Okay, so we're Gucci now. Hell yeah. Okay, so I think I'm good. /resume. And then the chat I want to resume is the LSP one. I just did the bun add command. I think we are Gucci, right? I think we're Gucci, right? Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Ray. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what we're here for, man. Oh, by the way, I'm going to do an event live. If anyone's in the Bay Area on Thursday, I haven't really announced this yet, but since y'all are here right now. So this Thursday, check this out. I'm going to do an event live in San Francisco, like a literal live stream where we're just going to vibe out. So I'm going to call it like AI vibe. Like it's like an AI vibe check. And so what we're doing here now is what we're going to go ahead and just do in San Francisco. So we're just going to come up together. All you have to do is just pull up with your laptops and stuff. We're going to have Wi-Fi. We're going to have some food and pizza and stuff. And we're going to sit down and use Claude Code, Cursor, whatever you're using, just bring it. And I want to basically do what we're doing now live, but in person, because it's much easier to talk to people, right? Like, hey, what are you doing? What are you working on? Or like just pull up and just start making apps. And just if somebody wants to show some stuff, please show it. If you have some prompts or skill files that you're doing, let us know. If you're building stuff locally, let us know. I want to know. I want to meet you. If you want to play with my DGX Spark, let's do that. I want to do this live. We need to be doing stuff in person. I'm based in the Bay Area right now. So for a couple of weeks, I'll be based in the Bay Area. And then in February, I'll be in Hawaii. So anyone who's going to Hawaii, who is in Hawaii, I'll be right there with you. And then I have plans to expand this out, but I need to start here in the Bay Area. So this Thursday, make sure you lock in at 5 o'clock. I'm going to send a Luma message out probably tonight or tomorrow, where I'm going to show some details so people can sign up. So stay tuned for that. I'll have that in the description. If you're watching right now, let me know. But that's going to be a fire event because we're trying to do more stuff in person. We being me, and I want to do more stuff in person with you, like this, where we're just cooking like this live. So that'd be fire. So it's going to say yes. Okay, I'm going to check this out. Pull up the Tony's Pizza. Oh, I love pizza, but I have gluten-free problems. So in North Beach, I go by the Cursor office. There's one called, is it Godfathers or something like that? It's over by Franklin Street, right by Cursor HQ. Bay Area, Tony's Pizza. Oh man, let's go. I'll convince the wife I need to go to Hawaii. Do it, bro. Do it. February. Especially in February, bro. You got to take her to Hawaii. Come on. I'd be interested in exploring use of GSD together with Ralph. Ooh. The one that uses MCLI, not the original plugin. Okay. I'm hearing a bunch of noise and I don't know if it's me or not. So like, I was like, okay, cool. Dude, try /status line and set the line below your chat to show the context and other stuff. Oh, I forgot about that. Thank you so much. I forgot. Like it's been a while. I had to remove all my Claude Code instances and all my settings. So I appreciate that. Actually, I'm going to get that set up. Okay, so now we got the LSP set up. So it verified that it looks good. Perfect. So I'll need to restart Claude Code for it to pick up the LSP. Got it. So I think I might do that here. So once I get the plan going like this, Control C /status line. Sorry, I got a couple of things going on here. I like to do things asynchronously, right? So, all right. So this is now setting up my status line. So do you want to read? Yes. Okay. I don't always want to read from the same thing. Do you want to proceed? Yes. Okay. Let's see what's going on with my plan now. So to fix my bug, what's going on here? So what happened? So in my bug, it says I've analyzed the bug, created a plan. Okay. And then the front end is back end is add premium tier. Front end is going to update the reprocess model to disable, right? And then the wiring is going to pass can use premium. Perfect. Here's the Claude's plan. Fix the starter users. Perfect. So yes. I think there's also like the diarization mode too. So I think that's the other part. So will this also allow it to use speakers? Manually. No, type here. Okay, so how would you like to proceed? Yes, clear the context and auto accept edits. Yes, yes. I would say, oh, okay. So instead of typing no, okay. So I wanted to also allow it to do transcription so that people can toggle on speaker if they have premium access. Okay, I'm gonna say enter. So now it's going to try to reprocess this plan. All right, now we're going to set up our status line. So what he's saying is the status line here below should say something more interesting, like our context window and a bunch of other cool stuff. So it's like your status line is already customized with lock-in motivational theme. The agent found you're using power level 10K for your shell. So keep the status line lock in. Okay, that's not being used right now. This is what I see. So what I'm going to do is literally just screenshot this and then feed it back to the agent. This is very meta, but this is very helpful actually. That isn't what is being used, and I want to not use that lock-in one because that caused my agents to slow down. Okay, cool. What's going on with my plan over here? So I have a clear picture of the bug. I've analyzed the bug. So now it's going to explore. So yeah, now I'm leaving Claude over here to explore. Good news. It's already fully implemented. There's even a diarization toggle. I just need to add it to the reprocess flow. Okay, cool. So this is going to be taking a look at more files over here. Okay, perfect. I see your actual prompt style from the screenshot. Let me configure status line to match the format. Okay. So now we're just going to do this. Okay, this looks pretty good. Do you want me to make this set it? Yes. How do I configure it so that... So we're going to do bin bash. I thought I do ZSH. I thought Running with ZSH. Also, what can we configure? Oh my God, bro. No. And we configure. Okay. Press up to edit queued message. Okay, so it's elucidating right now. I don't know what it's doing over here. Okay, let's see what's up. Your project status line, level status line overrides goal. Okay. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I actually prefer that. But I remember my original status line was like really buggy and caused my whole agent to slow down. So I'll get back to that in a bit. Yeah. So I'm gonna make that smaller for now, and I'm gonna focus on this plan right now here. So let's see real quick. Shipping software to customers. So fix starter can reprocess models and add diarization toggle. Perfect. Are we gonna be able to modify? So, okay. The backend can use premium tier. Okay, lastly, are we reusing files or are we just creating a bunch of new code? Obviously, my preference is to reuse a lot of the same files or functions and various things inside of my code base so we keep things dry. And so if you're wondering what the word dry means, is do not repeat yourself, DRY. It's a common convention in software engineering. And a lot of times you try to think through like what is in my code, where's everything else. If I have two pieces of things that are calling the same type of code to do the same things, like for example, this diarization, I have it already set up in my transcript for one component, and now I'm using it in a different component. They should be the same code because if I make a change to one, then this guy's not going to get it. So that's usually what happens here. So I may have it like rethink everything. And so let me clarify and reuse strategy. What I could have also done is tell it to use like think harder for this. So that way we can use more thinking tokens, because I think that might be a better thing here. So it may or may not. We'll see. I mean, it's already pretty smart. Let's see what's going on now. Dang. Let me verify the page already has access to can use premium. Yeah. And I might actually end up doing that. So I got to snooze, Ray. Hey, how's it going on? Yeah. See you later, man. I think I got to snooze pretty soon too. I'm pretty wired right now because it's been a while since I've done live streaming, and I actually was only supposed to stream for like an hour, but we're going a little bit longer than that because I just got started with my cooking and that's what we're doing. So we're going to be here for a little bit. Optimizing for Claude Code features. Use XMCP for reviewing Anthropic's cookbook best practices. Will enhance your agent workflow. Yes, I think that's kind of coming up next. Right now, I'm really kind of just paring everything back and kind of building back up, if you know what I mean. So like our Claude Code was over like claude.md file was over 300 lines or something, or 200 something. We basically got it down to under 30. That's basically what we're doing. You know, we're just going through that Boris cookbook on that tweet, screenshot that mug, throw that in a Claude Code and just tell it to like help you with that. I think that's kind of the best way to cook right now. Let's see what's going on right here. I'm just going to review this plan real quick. It's getting more comprehensive as we go. So users on starter plan can reprocess transcription with premium and when they shouldn't, and then process modal lux speaker diarization toggle already available for new transcriptions. Here's the root cause, and here's our code reuse strategy. Okay, this is looking pretty good. This is great. And then separate code paths to this, to that. Okay, cool. So this are all the files we're going to modify. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to do a thing called Stacked Diffs. So if you aren't familiar with this is kind of like my favorite way of working. So I already have a PR and I've already sort of violated the principles of Stacked Diffs. But one of them is, for those who aren't familiar, is that what you can do is once you have a pull request that's already up, what you're doing here now is basically going to put another PR on top of it. So that way, like you can have code, I can already submit my current app in the way that it's already working live to production so the users can start using it. But I want to continue to build off this. So like, it's not really ready to be merged to main just yet. So I want to just create another pull request, or I want to work off this current working branch and then go on forward. And if I do find a bug that's pretty bad in my next workflow that also needs to be fixed in what I already pushed to customers, taking that bug out and pushing back into like the production branch, and then making sure that my current thing that I'm working on also keeps that in line without messing stuff up in the future becomes really hard to do. So that's kind of where Stacked Diffs comes into play. So what's nice about it is basically one command that we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to take the existing thing that we're working on. We're going to create another pull request on top of that. So we're going to keep working with our feature here on forward. If there's anything that we need to add that needs to go back, we can switch to that branch, add it in, and then run a sync command that will push everything up, do all this fancy git rebasing things, which is really amazing. So that'll keep everything else in sync. And so by the time I start to roll that change out into production, the users will get that. I'll see how the reaction is. And I can either keep working on my branch here that I'm currently working on, or, like push that into and kind of merge the whole stack all at once. So it provides a lot of flexibility, and I'll probably just going to start working, but you'll kind of start to see this in action if you know what I mean. So I could do GT sync. And so this will help sync everything up here. So syncing stuff from remote. And then so GT submit SM. So this will submit anything that's currently already in my branches and stuff. So this is already up to date. And so what I'm going to do is do GT create. And so what this create command does here, we're wondering, this will basically create a new branch. So this is going to be feature phase 2, bug fixes. And so this is kind of the way I like to do this. So this is going to create a new pull request on top of this existing branch, and then we'll see it in action. So cool. And then GT log. So this will actually show us what all the stuff that we've checked in so far. And so we can kind of do Q here to GT log short. So this is kind of show us we have 2 different branches here, and quit. And I can do git tower, and I'll show you a little bit of what this actually looks like from a stacking perspective. So in tower itself, I use tower as a visual editor, and I really like tower a lot. And so here is the actual stack. So we have the first one here, and these are all the commits that I made, I think starting from here. And technically I should have kept these into different stacks, but I got a little carried away and I didn't do that. So I totally violated the principles, and that's okay. But in essence, now I basically created another stack on top of this one. So the one that I'm currently working on actually depends on the first one to be submitted. But if I do need to submit the first one, it can go right into production, and I'll be okay with it. Like everything will be ready to go, with this small exception of this bug that I currently have. So that's kind of where I'm at here. So that's kind of what we're working with here. So now we're ready to start working and submitting bug fixes here. So convex is here. I'm going to reload this thing, or Bonix convex dev. Okay. So this is stuff that's currently running. And so now we're currently working on a bug fix here. And so as of now, this plan looks like it's ready to go. So the reason why I wanted to get all my Git stuff set up is to make sure that before Claude runs, I have it all kind of sorted out. And I can, like, if something happens, I could just throw everything away. So that's basically what I'm doing. So as a starter user, I have the premium tier, diarization, standard reprocess as creator tier. Perfect. Diarization shows premium tier. Okay, perfect. Bun run dead code. Okay, cool. This looks good. So you remember how we got those hooks set up and stuff like that? If we're running any ralphing, like just from here on forward in Claude Code, like it already knows to run bun run dead code at the end of this feature. I had no rule to tell it. No, my rule is actually in my claude.md file. So let's take a look. So I do command P and cursor claude.md. You can use VS Code. It's the same thing. This is loaded up every single time, and it's going to run check for dead code. Format code, check for dead code, create PR. Before creating PR, we're going to do this here. So it may try to create a PR for us, but I should tell it about stacked diffs. But I think I'm good because there's no PR getting created. All right, so I think we're good. So now we're going to basically clear context. Okay, so now before we start a plan, we can clear the context and auto accept edits. And so shift tab, that's kind of cool. So what my friend was telling me is if I do this, auto accept edits on. So if I do this, this will actually save the plan into Claude, into my, not my project folder, but into my root, like where my user folder is. And that's where it's going to reference the plan. And he says that whenever compaction and stuff occurs, he sees pretty good results whenever this kind of goes into play. So now we can just kind of let it go autonomously, and it should basically fix that feature or that bug for what I had in technically like one shot, if you know what I mean. So it's going to be able to now work, pretty much keep going until it's done, and has enough instructions and everything it needs to work on his files, to build the files with convex, to do some of the front end work. And all we have to do is just check back in a little bit later and everything should be really good. So that's what's up. All right, cool. Awesome. So now we're cooking. So import can use perfect. Internal query wrapper, perfect. I'd probably clean this up later, but yeah, that's what it is. I actually think analyzing every plan before execution is integral to long-term success. I agree. Completely agree. 1000% agree. You're absolutely right. Oh man, I love the comments in here. You guys are so good. I love everything. So yeah, that's what's up. Still good for specific applications. However, I prefer granular sub-agent pipes. Actually, that's a really good one. Yeah, so I'll make it into sub-agents a little bit later because that's something I'm really curious about. So yeah, so what is it? Phase 2. Pretty good. Now add the premium tier validation after the blob availability check. First, let me read the handler. Perfect. Cool. So now it's doing its thing. So now that it's doing its thing, do I want to go over here now and update all my stuff that I was looking at? So given the performance is a concern, here's some lightweight options. Just a directory plus git branch like your shell prompt, model plus directory, know which model you're using, context remaining, track how much context is left. Can you do some research? Can you do some research on what features we have with our current version of Claude Code with the status bar? Yeah, I'm just really curious of what it's going to do here. I work mostly in Cursor. Is there an add-on for the tower? No, there's basically in Cursor. Tower is just a standalone app. And it works. I've been using Tower for over a decade, so I used it a lot at Apple because I worked on like a lot of projects, and like it was so much easier to track tags, and every different team who builds apps and different components and stuff, they all have their own Git setups and repos in different ways. So for me, visually, it was just so easy to have like all this stuff already saved in these different places, and stuff was running. It was really, really amazing. It's very performant. It's really great. So I probably do have a referral code, but I don't think it matters, but I really like them. Yeah. Is open code good? I like the UI, but I haven't really done any like benchmarks specifically to like put that against Claude Code. Right now, I'm spending a lot of time like getting back into Claude Code because of like it's optimized for using the Opus models, right? I'd say Cursor is extremely well optimized to use Opus as well. I've been like the whole game I shipped was mostly Opus and like GPT-5, and we set up hooks. All the stuff that I'm really doing in Claude Code, basically did all that stuff in Cursor, right? So now I'm setting everything back up in Claude Code again, and just kind of just taking it for a spin. And so if open code can't really do Claude Code, or if there's like a bunch of optimizations that are going into Claude Code, like with plugins, LSP, like I think open code had LSPs first before Claude Code did. That's just really funny. It's like different things have different stuff, and it's kind of hard to really stay up on everything. But right now I'm just kind of giving Claude Code a shot, and I don't have much more to say right now. So yeah. Let's see. But when I was using open code, like the latest version, I was like a month ago, I really like the UI and all the little cool animations and stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Cursor is really good. Like Cursor is phenomenal. Like as far as like an agent, like it has improved so much. I've been giving them lots of feedback as well, and they've been listening to all my feedback and just going crazy about implementing everything. So if you tweet at them, somebody from the Cursor team will generally see it on Twitter. They have all these different scripts and stuff set up, and they will probably reach out to you saying, "Hey, what can we do better?" So I've been super impressed by the Cursor team. They're shipping like crazy, and they're listening to feedback like a madman. So, what's the problem with Ray limiting with Claude? Does it affect Droid? No. There was a problem, I think, with like limits. Droid is a little bit different though. Yeah, Droid has its own. You pay plan. It's like pay to play. So yeah, planning is important. We need to keep the context small by planning. Yes, and then once you plan, by the way, so when I hit to implement the plan, I cleared the context. And so that way, like it starts with a fresh context window and then we're kind of able to move forward. So, I haven't kept up with the open codes, like recent things. As of right now, I have enough $200 a month subscriptions. Cursor, Claude Code. I actually just canceled my ChatGPT Pro account, by the way. I had $200 a month going there and I wasn't using it as often. Like I was using the Cursor, like all the pro models, like not the pro models, but all the models like for ChatGPT inside of Cursor. And frankly, to be honest, I've been so disappointed with like the OpenAI models just in normal chat conversations, in my normal like research and stuff like that. I found so much better quality with Opus 4.5. It is undeniably amazing. And then adding the Exa MCP inside of Claude Opus, like you then have a super intelligent person who has access to like the world's data that at like a millisecond. It's amazing. And so I have those same MCPs also configured inside of ChatGPT. I tried with them and without them. I didn't find that any better. I just got really tired of the ChatGPT like tone, which is always kind of the same. So I've tried to change my tones. It doesn't really improve. Like I feel like it tries to do its thing, but the attitude and the cadence, even for the speech, like I can read stuff now. I know if it's either Opus that wrote it or ChatGPT that wrote it because it keeps repeating the same things. Like there's no way, it just keeps going back to the same training set that it has for writing. And it's really bad. To me, it's like kind of distasteful, but like, yeah. And then I've even tried removing all my rules and reestablishing. It's not that amazing. Yeah. So like even though I'll lose access to memories and everything, at this point, I'm just kind of like, I'm Opus, bro. Like Team Opus. It's too good. It's too good. Yeah. Yeah. 1 trillion token club, bro. Bro, I don't know. Should I pull up my cursor thing? Like it's about to be on fire, bro. Like let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see. Cursor.com. I think it's like, let me go here. Cursor.com. Dashboard. Let's see. Where do I go to usage? You can see where I started using. I'm gonna unblur it. This is nasty. Yo, this is nasty. This is crazy. Oh man, this is insane. So yeah. So the plan reset on like, so part of the reason I started the 12 days before Christmas is because I needed to burn $200 before my plan ended because it reset on January 5th. And so I think I made the whole game in under $200, which I was super impressed by, but it goes to the things like why you have to have a really good architecture plan. So I was able to make that whole soccer game that I was telling you, that big architecture plan, I made it under $200. So amazing. We built the whole game. So now I've been going ham. So you can kind of see, I basically spent so far $284 in like since January 6th. So like in 10 days, like I've gone like super bazonkers. Yeah, like almost using it like Opus Thinking High exclusively. So yeah. Yeah, but you see how like a lot of my requests are in this like nice golden zone. So it's a 200,000 token context window and I start new chats all the time. So all of these are basically new chats. Yeah, but it makes a big difference. And then agent reviews, like my reviews are massive, 5 million tokens. So 5 million token review comes out to like 75 cents. So yeah, like I'm doing massive PRs. Like we're like the stacks, right? So when I do a stack, it keeps stacking and then it keeps going up. So yeah, but yeah, we're cooking. We're cooking. Sweet. Yeah, Opus 4.5, high thinking. Like 11. This is just for the last, I don't know how many days. Damn. Yikes, bro. Yeah, we're cooking. We're cooking. Fire. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I used Cursor for a long time, but after trying Claude Code CLI with Opus, you can't go back to Cursor again. I think it's just different, bro. Like the agent is really good. Like I've been going back and forth. I'm not gonna lie. Like I wouldn't be saying stuff like that because I go back and forth all the time. Because it's too good, bro. Like, but this is also really good too. Look at what we're doing. So as you can see, when the agent was writing code, guess what happened? It runs the TSC no emit thing. Why NPX? Let's see, prettier. Are we using bun? TSC property diarize. I don't think that matters. Okay. Convex users can await. So yeah, the agent started just fixing its own bugs because it was doing all these type checks. Check if speakers exist as an indicator diarization was used. Perfect. That's more than 0. And then all tasks completed. Here's a summary. Added can use premium tier. Perfect. And this is kind of where in Cursor, I would like to do like a code review of this with another agent. Like in here is like inside of Cursor, I'll have all this stuff set up here. Oh my God. Okay. Did this thing again where it linted all the files. Okay. Okay. Let me just do another terminal window. Okay. Claude. So I'm having that issue again because I had the agent write some files and the agent basically ran linting. Wait, hold on. Okay. Ran linting on the entire repo. Can you only run linting on the files you touched and fix this for the future? So I undid some changes in the script, and I think there's somewhere in that chain of the script that kind of broke this. So I thought we fixed it, but yeah, I just realized it actually kind of messed that up. So dead code check passes only expected. Perfect. Code formatted. Unchanged. The files I touched are already formatted. Let me check if there's a hook construction that needs to be repo-wide formatting. Okay, perfect. $14 clients blew through 11 billion input. Sheesh, bro. What do they? Oh, they must have like all these windows going on. What do you do number-wise? I was just like trying to figure out what you're doing because like you're coming up with all this crazy stuff. Yeah. But for people who can just have one subscription, should they just go for Claude Code only? Right now it's probably like the best bang to the buck. And to be honest, it's probably the best way to learn like the most modern coding stack because you get a lot of generous, they're very generous with the credits, right? Like the tokens, it's not like capped at like a specific API cost. So people are able to get a lot more out of it. So yeah, that's probably not a bad bet right now, especially since Opus 4.5 is literally one of the smallest models right now. Okay, so path to files. So do not run bun format. It's a formats the entire repo can cause issues. Files are auto formatted via hooks. Okay, so it's actually updating the claude.md file. I see the issue after hook already formats the files individually, but the Claude says to run format, which formats. Okay, cool. So now, okay, so there are 79 stage files. Okay. As of right now, there are 79 files that are staged. Can we fix that so it's only the files that we touched during the session? Okay. I'm going to let it do its thing. OpenAI is cooking a good model to compete with Opus in 2026. At this point, everyone, I usually just say, show me the models. And then once they always try to show you the benchmarks, which is cool. I think they have to do that for all these different reasons. That's where we then show up and start playing. So if you're in the Bay Area this coming Thursday, not today, because it's Thursday, 11:24 p.m., but I'm going to be doing an event. So be on the lookout, stay on the lookout for the description. I want to do a meetup. So if somebody drops a model or something's going on, we're just going to do a meetup anyways. We're just going to do an AI vibe check. So that's what I'm going to be calling these events. They're called the AI vibe check. So we can just kind of hang out. What's the current vibe? Are you using Claude Code, Cursor? Like who's dropped the latest stuff? We'll be able to try everything out live together and just kind of share that information back. So that's what's up. No, I don't want to get reset head. No. Yeah. Let's see. Cool. Low key, I think I should just lint like format the files and just kind of like call technical debt and just be like, YOLO. This is so nasty though. I don't want all this. Maybe I do. I don't know. Do I? Dang. Like it just literally just moved text warning from here to like over here. Do I need that right now? Nah, fam. Okay, uninterrupted. Why reset? We already have the code changes. Okay. Since we already have the code changes, think harder on the so we don't reset all the work we just did. Okay. So I'm not going to be mad at it. I'm just going to be very plain. Like, I think this is a really interesting point that my friend made, is that if you talk to Claude like a fifth grader, sometimes like that is very, very helpful, especially to get work done. And so whenever you're thinking about things, don't get mad at it. Like think about how you would talk to it as a fifth grader, because it's actually kind of a better way to talk to it. So like I would have normally gotten really mad at it. It's like, what do you mean? You're the smart model. But it's like, you know, like you're basically just telling it to, hey, you can continue to be intelligent. I know you got this. And so it will get there, which is kind of cool. So that's kind of the best way to do this. So, okay, cool. So you're right. Let me be smarter about this. See, it doesn't say you're absolutely right. I'll restore the files I didn't touch to discard formatting only changes while keeping the files I actually modified. So then it did a diff. It took a look at everything. It's like, cool. So now it says get all the stage files except for the ones I modified, then restore them. Okay, cool. And then what it's going to do, it's going to grab the specific files. Yeah, let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. What's the worst that can happen? My whole repo gets deleted. Look at that. It fixed it so nicely. Beautiful. Okay. Now that it's working, it's reticulating. I have hated the LSP experience. I prefer enforcing them via ESLint rules that guide Claude. Oh, that's interesting. I'd love to hear more about this because I have not tried this. This is like literally my first time trying the LSPs today. So can you add some more specifics on like what that experience was and like how linting worked better? Like, and then as far as ESLint, have you tried Biome? I know people talk about Biome a lot. I'm really curious. I'm not familiar with web development like Biome and all these little specific things, but this is something I want to learn some more about. So let me see if I can pop open in another window and do some research here. So whoops, I'm going to do Claude and we're going to ask the agent about this. So tell me more about LSP versus ESLint rules that guide Claude. Use Exa MCP for research, as this is a new, LSP is a new feature for Claude Code. What are different use cases? In the future, I'd like to be able to run the Opus 4.5 model for as long as possible with high quality. Which techniques? Okay. So I'm gonna have to do some research and we'll kind of get back to this. And I have more follow-up questions, but at least I'm gonna send it off on some tasks here. So as far as this type of what did we do here? I'm kind of losing track of things. Do you want me to set up a lightweight status line? I'll get back to the status line thing a little bit later. And then right now I need to focus on these two tasks right now before I lose any more context and lose my mind. Okay, so now I have 6 files modified and are staged. So I should now have fixed that bug. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and verify it. So now that I have the files here, let me just verify that these are actually running. So in here, bunx convex bundev. Perfect. So let's just check this out. So I have my app here. And so now if I have an existing transcription, I should be able to reprocess with different settings. And then I have this here now. Ooh, that's nice. And then I could do diarization. So I think this already has diarization set up. No, it doesn't. Perfect. So this is a perfect use case. So I want to retranscribe this so that it can do it with diarization. So reprocess with different settings. I can now use the premium model. I'll enable this now. So it's going to start the reprocessing. So what's fire about this is like, it's super fast. You see how fast it is? That's amazing. That's so crazy. So now I have speaker 1 and then like all the speakers here, speaker 2, perfect. And if I go to edit, I should be able to see them here. So now I have all the speakers lined up here, speaker 1, speaker 2. And then if I want to edit the speakers, I could just click this here and I could just say that's Ray. And then I could say that's Eric. And that's it. So now I hit save. And then I should now be able to download the SRT file. And so the SRT file should now have perfect. Look at that. So now it has all that stuff saved perfectly. Perfect. So Eric, yeah, perfect. Nice. Okay. And then if I wanted to revert, I should then go back to the original version. Perfect. Speaker 1, speaker 2. And then if I download the SRT file, I should be able to download the SRTs from that version. And so that way, yeah, perfect. It reverted all of them. Beautiful. Man, this app is fire. I love this app. I made it for me, but then like it started to expand more. So any feature requests you guys get, let me know if you also want a link. I can get you a link right now so you can try this for free for 7 days. Let me see if I can find that link real quick. Let's see, trial. Ray Transcribes app. Okay. So here is the invite link. So if you haven't had a chance to try this, let me go ahead and copy this text here. This is the app that you'll need so that we can go ahead and try this out here. Let's see here. So I want y'all to try this app because it's not the diarization feature that I'm currently showing right now is about to be live because I just fixed the bug right now with Claude Code, and I low-key think this is all ready to go in production right now. So that way some folks can try it out. But yeah, like all the features are working now. So we have the speakers. You can have the different speakers that are here, and then you can also like change the time if needed. So you can test that out. If you want to change speakers, you click this one, you can change them right here and then save them. And so right now we're going to go back to version, restore version 1. Perfect. So here, version, what version do I have? Version 1, speakers, Eric, Ray. I don't see it. Did we error out? Oh, wow. That's a weird bug. It's not showing. That's a good bug. So if we go back to here and then I go to edit speakers, what happened to my speakers? Wow. Okay. So I want to see if I can possibly launch into reprocessed. I think I might try to pull this into Chrome. So Claude has a way to launch Chrome so that I can test this in Chrome, right? So like there's a regression here that we were basically figuring out that I need to track down because this is something that I edited before, Ray, and it's not showing up. See, like, and then if I go back to the original, restore, so it brings these back here. And so that's interesting. That's a really good bug. This is a really, really good bug. So I hit a bug here and like in my database, users, let's see, not users, transcription attempts. Let's see what happened. It's totally aired out. So I'm going to try to see if I can have Claude fix this because this is kind of gone now. So I hit a bug. Let's see if I could just give it the screenshot straight up to Claude and see if I could fix it. Okay. So far, I have verified that things have worked, but it seems like I've hit a minor regression now. And the problem I'm seeing is that as soon as I make some changes to the speakers and I download the files, everything works fine. And I'm able to save the new versions and that looks great. And I actually see the speaker diarization showing up in the files. But when I revert to the original file and then I revert back, I somehow am not seeing the actual user interface update with the correct speaker tags. And the good news is that the speakers for that version, for example, version 1, will still be preserved. And it's just not showing up in the UI. Can you do some digging here? Oh, I forgot to put this into Chrome. So in order to launch this into Chrome, all we have to do, for example, I'm just going to open a new tab, Claude-S Chrome. And so that will launch into a Chrome instance of Claude Code. And that's maybe what we can use to debug this. So I think that's what we're going to go ahead and do. So I'm going to do the same type of thing. Was this yapped? I don't remember. I probably did. So I'm going to go to Whisper Flow and go to home. And so I'm going to copy this transcript. I'm so glad I use Whisper Flow. It's so easy to copy the transcript, paste. And then because I have I think I have my screenshots saved to a folder. Nope. Okay. I'm going to go back to this browser here and just going to show this screenshot and put it back in here. So here. So now we're going to try to use Claude with Chrome and we're going to try to see if I can go do some digging. So I'm going to go put this into plan mode now. So plan mode should force it to do some type of investigative research here. And we'll see how far it gets with this type of thing. It's a good bug. Yeah. And so now that it's doing that, I'm just going to get rid of this thing because we're sort of done with this work here. And I don't think I need any more context. So I have some of the changes staged. So I'm going to check them in right now because it works, but there's a couple little bugs that we need to fix. So that'll be that. I haven't published the branch yet, so I'll get back to that in a bit. The last thing I wanted to do is check while that's running and doing some research for us in this new tab. So this is now going to explore our files and do all the things I need to do with Claude Code. I'm going to get rid of this too, since this is done. Let's take a look at the LSP thing because our friend brought up some concerns here and we wanted to kind of see what was going on with that. So with that said, cool. So based on my research, here's a comprehensive breakdown of LSP versus ESLint rules. So language server protocol in Claude Code was added December 2025 in this version. So this is what it enables. So if we're like, for those who are tuning in right now, this is like a whole masterclass right now. So right, like we're doing it live. So I'm gonna break it down for y'all. Hey, good morning. How's it going, David? So the LSP does a go-to definition. So jump to where a symbol is defined, can find references for all usages of a symbol across the code base. Sweet. Hover and get the type information and documentation. So if you're wondering like what this stuff means, I'll show you real quick. So in cursor, this is kind of what it's doing. So if you've ever worked with any like files like in code, one of my favorite things to do is to understand how some of these functions work and stuff like that. So like, for example, we can go to like my actual form, right? So this is like my app right here on the main page that loads. And if I wanted to see like what something was going on with like what is an alert description or like what's actually happening here, if I hover my mouse, you see all this stuff that's being generated. That's basically comes from the language server protocol. Server, yeah. And so if you option click, so if you hold on the Windows, I think on Windows, you'll see the little Windows key, but on the Mac, you'll see the option key or the little command key and then click, that'll take you exactly to that file. So that's basically what it's saying here. So that's what you get for an LSP. So go to a definition. So you jump to where the symbol is defined. So you can see where things are like defined and stuff like that. So that helps like if you're giving this power to a language model. So now the AI agent can now take this type of technique of traversing through files, like looking through your code base and seeing where stuff is defined. So on your page, like this is the actual page that loads for your actual app, right? So you have transcription form, I have a required subscription, I have an auth boundary, and I have app layout. So if I wanted to see what's happening in Ray's auth boundary, I can do that type of inspection here. And that's kind of very, very helpful for like a Claude Code of the world because like Cursor gets that built into VS Code. So they're already doing that type of work on the agent's behalf. But Claude Code didn't really just get that type of support until very recently. Otherwise, it just looks like a text file. It's just looking for text files, and it's pretty sufficient. Like it's very helpful. But having these as tools, you can see how far like all these other agents have gone, and this kind of helps it there. So this has these types of things: incoming calls and outgoing calls. So can do call trace hierarchies. So this is really important also for like understanding what a call stack is. So whenever a call stack is like for example, like if you are ever working on like a recipe for something that says do this, this, and this, and this. So like you can't get to step 4 unless you do step 1 through whatever. And like that's basically like the stack, right? So this is kind of what you do in software. You saw the composability of our React app. And like you can kind of see if there's a crash that happens, you'll basically say, okay, so who is the person who's calling the auth boundary? And like this is being called by the page. So page. So in here, like the way that stuff is being rendered, it's going to be like these different like little layers that kind of go up the whole loop. And so if something crashes in here, it's like, okay, app layout depends on this, depends on this, depends on this, depends on this. So like, that's kind of like part of the stack is kind of what we're talking about here at a very high level. I'm not trying to break it down any further because my voice is dying. Key advantages, LSP navigates code bases in 50 milliseconds versus 45 seconds. Massive. That's massive. Okay, so one developer reported LSP found 47 usages of a function while grep only found 31. So missing aliased imports. Re-exports and interface implementations. Great. So that's the advantage of a LSP. So supported languages for the LSPs are here. So ESLint rules for guiding Claude. So ESLint rules actually work differently. So they provide static analysis patterns for Claude that Claude can learn from. So for claude.md instructions, manually document coding standards, rule ends, so a CLI tool that auto-converts ESLint and biome configs into AI readable markdown, and then custom ESLint rules for Claude instructions. So they enforce patterns like use immer instead of multiple use state calls. That's interesting. Okay, so this is like more semantics versus over here, this is like tooling to navigate code bases extremely efficiently. 50 milliseconds for 45 seconds, that's fast, massive. So obviously if you want an LSP, if you're gonna do some refactoring, so right, best finds all the references accurately versus ESLint rules like can't really help with that. Enforcing code style, not gonna be from the LSP, but that's gonna be from your ESLint rules. Understanding existing code, so that's great for tracing like call chains versus ESLint rules are gonna be like limited for that. Preventing anti-patterns, that's definitely gonna be done in ESLint rules. And as far as finding bugs, it pretty much sort of works both ways, like finding all affected usages and indirectly via pattern guidance. So that's an interesting thing. I love this breakdown. I'm really glad that we did this research because all of your comments have been very, very helpful for all of us to learn. So hopefully you learned something from this conversation. Somebody was bringing this up about like they were using LSPs and they found them to be inefficient. So it could be some type of Venn diagram that was happening here in their use case. So like maybe they were trying to enforce code styles and that's actually not what an LSP is really good at. That's going to be better for ESLint rules. And so it's possible that like for refactoring though, that's where the LSP is going to be like number one there. So definitely if you can set those up in Claude Code, LSP, you can see what the rule is and how we're going to really do some winning here. This is amazingly helpful. So these are all the references that it pulled up. So yeah, almost like Astro. Awesome. Good morning. The thing is the models don't make true lint errors anymore that frequently. So they tend to correct if you let them finish the full turn. And if you lint early, they override and get fixed however they can. Okay, so it's like you're introducing more noise by trying to lint earlier versus letting it finish out and finish that thing. So yeah, I guess it also depends on the patterns too that you're using, right? So like if it's in the middle of writing a new pattern, it's like, hey, I'm gonna lint, I haven't finished it yet. So like you start to kind of, okay, I get it now. Okay. Do you use any MCPs, skills, or the tools to test your apps on different devices? Right now I'm gonna investigate this Claude with Chrome. And so that's gonna be the thing that's gonna try to help us debug this app problem. So over here, what does it say? Okay, so what happened? I think we went into plan mode, right? So identify the root cause and created a plan. So here's a summary. So what was our plan issue? Oh yeah, so this is the problem that we had where we kind of, the thing would just disappear, like the speaker thing. So it did some research and made a plan. So let's see what happened. Whoa. Okay, so updated the plan. What happened here? So when restoring to a saved version that has a custom speaker labels, the speaker badges don't display in the UI, though the data is preserved. So the root cause is SRT files are generated with custom speaker labels, but the parse SRT function can only extract speaker IDs from speaker 1 and format. So when the parser encounters Ray, it strips the prefix but sets the speaker undefined. That makes more sense. I knew this would bite me. This is a really bad architecture decision that I thought I wasn't going to face an issue with, but it really bit me. So I do have to fix this bug, and it's an architecture problem. It's not a code problem. The affected code flow is this. I hate that these bugs end up biting me back in the future. But I haven't really shipped this yet. So that's why I want to keep this quality high for this release, because this is a really important release. Adding speakers so that like whatever, like you can have like 10 speakers in one voice file, and I'll be able to display them, and you can edit them in my thing, and you can download them, and you can have different versions of them. For example, you find out that's not Sally, that's Greg. So you can just update the name. If you do that by hand, it's a pain in the butt. And so I'm going to allow you to do that in my app with Ray Transcribes. Obviously, I have some more bugs to fix, but we're almost there. And I'm excited to fix these. So that's what's up. Dang. Wow. Okay. So it's going to do this type of work here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is actually my bedtime. So I need to sign off for now because I need to catch some Z's. And I want to fix this bug. This is a really good bug. I've just started using some Claude Code, and today we've been able to get a whole bunch of stuff set up. I'm going to continue coding tomorrow, and I have a very special surprise for you right now. The DGX Spark. So this type of thing, I'm going to try to do an unboxing tomorrow of this bad boy, and we're going to get this thing set up because this thing is going to be on fire. Like NVIDIA sent me this because I was at their CES thing and I got to talk to some folks, and I was like, I want one of these boxes. Like I got to go through the whole like magic tour and everything. And I also got to meet will.i.am by accident. Like I was live streaming there, and I didn't realize he pulled, like he was already there, and we pulled up. It was so fun. So if you haven't had a chance, I already have the stream posted, or that snippet of the stream. You can see people's comments flying through. It was so fire. So we did a lot of cool stuff. And so tomorrow I'm going to try to do the unboxing. I want to get that thing set up. I want to start training some models on it. I'm going to try to learn how to train models and everything, which would be really cool. And then we're going to learn together because I think this is kind of the best way to do it. Also Thursday, if you're around in the Bay Area on Thursday, be on the lookout because I'm going to have an event showing up. And if you're on my little Start My AI list, make sure you get on that list because I'm going to put that there as well. I'm going to do meetups every single Thursday, wherever I'm at, whether it's the Bay Area, whether it's Hawaii. We need to do vibe checks in person. So just like we're hanging out today, there's a lot of other people who have like project management backgrounds, design backgrounds, engineering backgrounds, like a lot of cool stuff. People prompt in different ways. All of y'all who've been sharing that sauce in the chat, you guys are amazing because people like you need to show up to these events as well. But it helps other people. So if you're not able to make it because you're not here in proximity, don't worry. I'm actually going to be live streaming that Thursday evening. So it's going to be at different places all over the Bay Area or wherever we're at. And you're going to be able to catch a live stream of this too. And hopefully everyone else can share. And then if you're sharing knowledge too, it's going to be really amazing. So I'm starting a new movement called the AI Vibe Checks. Be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much. Big shout out to everyone who stayed throughout the whole stream. Y'all are the real MVPs. Obviously, smash the thumbs up. Share with a friend because this is really, really helpful and it gets it out there to more folks. All right, y'all. Peace.